it shine through. Just let your soul, baby, feeling oh so silky smooth. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow. So glow.
You're fired.
How do you answer the fact that you have not given Josh a good enough wide receiver thus far?
Yeah, I mean,
Can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice.
Bag up, Terry.
Hold the hand, Chico.
Put it reverse. Oh, Lord.
Welcome to the AFC Shakedown. I'm your host, Tommy. Next to me is my main man, Mr. Cocky Juan. He's feeling himself, and he should. He should feel very good. His team is more than likely heading back to another Super Bowl. I want to say congratulations right off the riff, man, to you, Juan. It's been man, as a Patriots fan, dude, I don't know what to say, man, you bastards. Back at number one in the East, back at probably going to another Super Bowl. I mean, that coaching, man, coaching is everything, man. It means so much, and the proof is there. The proof is right in front of you guys. If you don't think coaching matters, say hello to Mr. Juan and the New England Patriots, because they are heading back to a Super Bowl with, honestly, it's a good team, but let's be real. Coaching made that team special this year. They're the ones that brought that team to higher level of play, and they are where they're at because of that, and obviously players. But you got to put the finger, or you got to point at the coaching staff and the phenomenal job they've done in New England this season. So, anyways, let's start it with around the league real quick as far as AFC goes. And obviously there's some changes, and one of them, and the big one, is the Buffalo Bills moving on from Sean McDermott. After 9 seasons, Sean McDermott is fired by the Buffalo Bills, and this is something that should have happened years ago. I don't understand why fans are acting the way they're acting, like they're so disappointed, surprised, or hurt. Guys, 9 seasons. Your number one job in the NFL as a head coach is to win a Super Bowl. He didn't even go to one. Okay, so he was a good coach. I'm not going to diss him. I'm not going to say he was a shit coach, but he reached the ceiling. He reached his playoff wall. And you can't keep doing rinse and repeat, right? You can't, right? It kind of shows you guys that the rinse and repeat method throughout the years of coaching, whether that be college football, whether it be MLB, whether it be college basketball, whether it be NFL, it doesn't matter. NBA, you have to eventually move on. You have to eventually make that change. By changing nothing changes, right? I'm a true believer in that. And, a lot of Bills Mafia don't want to see it like that. They live in fear. They live in this world where they feel like now we're back to the drought years, and that's simply not going to happen. You got crazy people, Juan. You got crazy people calling radio stations, and let me show you this one. This is a trip. I don't know if you heard this one.
All faith. I wish you well, Sean McDermott, because wherever you go, you will be a success. and I hope you win a Super Bowl. On to you, Brandon Bean.
Whoa.
You better show up. You better show up because the wrong man got fired, in my opinion. You better show up. All my eyes are going to be on you. You think you got in Terry Pagula's ear? You may have, but I don't have the rest of my life. I want a Super Bowl.
She's not wrong on that part, at least. Shit, like
Yeah, I mean, but
he's not
it's
wrong.
a little out
It is
there,
on
Karen.
him.
I mean, you know, these are the same people. She's probably out there protesting this weekend. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Ooh, yeah, political
but-
here. Oh shit.
But let's be real. Those people are lunatics. Like this person who's calling radio, screaming about your head coach, how upset you are.
No, she's
a little out there.
Karen. She's definitely
She's
a Karen.
definitely-
You can
yeah.
tell this by listening to her.
You know what? The wrong man got fired.
I don't know about
Calm
all
down.
that, but I do agree with her last premise, though, that now all eyes are on him. Like,
Of course it is,
you
and
all
that's
threw him under the
okay.
bus, and you may have been right about throwing Sean McDermott under the bus, but now you're gonna have to show up because they're not. Well,
See,
what do you have to say then?
But this wasn't Bean throwing him under the bus for everything
No,
that I
you're right.
saw.
It was the owner who did it. It was the owner who did it. You're
This was the right. So here's the deal. So people take that press conference totally wrong. Like for me, look, the owner was smug. The owner was arrogant. The owner was aggressive when talking to the media at times. That's what owners do. That's what billionaires do. They talk down to you. They talk over you. They chime in when they probably shouldn't chime in. That's what he did. Okay, it is what it is.
My owner,
right.
You, my owner,
I didn't.
my owner the other day
yeah.
fucking talking about, oh, we're still paying Draw Mail and his staff, so we sacrificed something. I'm like, you old cheap motherfucker.
right, you're
Like,
billionaires.
Yeah.
Right. So that
Anyway.
part, and look, at the end of the day, you know, people are like, why was Pagula out there? Right? He was out there because he's the one that made the decision.
Yep.
This wasn't. So here's the deal, folks. Sean McDermott basically hired Brandon Bean. If Brandon Bean hired Sean McDermott, then he'd probably be the one that would ultimately fire or have a bigger say in firing Sean McDermott. This was an owner's decision, right? Plain and simple. And that's why the owner was out there explaining why he fired Sean McDermott. So I don't think like Bean went in there and, you know, necessarily threw him under the bus. I think this was a decision ultimately that the owner said, you know what, if I get rid of both, then it's going to be really tough for me to find. Now I got to go out and find a GM. I got to find president of football operations. And then I got to find that, have them look for a new. It was a lot of extra, I think, you know, that didn't need to be done. You already have your GM here. He believes in the GM. Look, the GM, Brandon Bean, he's made mistakes, no doubt about it. But every GM has made mistakes, right? But here's what I got to say about it. This is Brandon Bean's time now to kind of prove the naysayers wrong.
That's
Meaning,
exactly.
hey, this was McDermott's kind of show before, right? And however you guys want to feel out there, if you don't feel like I'm right, fine. It's an opinion. I'm going to stick with that. But I believe McDermott was the puppet master. I believe McDermott ultimately made the final decisions. Yes, they worked together, but it was still McDermott's vision. It was still McDermott's scheme. It was still McDermott's. He had a lot of say in drafting. Like, this wasn't anything where Bean was going over the head of Sean McDermott at any point in this relationship that they had with coach and GM. Now that Brandon Bean is officially in charge, meaning he is the GM, he is the president of football operations, and he is the guy that's actually going to go out and hire a new NFL head coach for the Buffalo Bills, he's going to have a lot more say in what happens. Now you could point the finger totally if things go sideways at Brandon Bean, and rightfully so. And that's my feelings when it comes to the Brandon Bean situation, because I do feel like he was kind of, held back some by Sean McDermott and what he wanted to do, his philosophy. It was his team from the jump. It was his 2017 draft. So, once again, it was time. I'm not dissing Sean McDermott. He did a very good job here. We were in the mud when he got here.
Resurrected your franchise.
Absolutely. So I wish him nothing but the best. But at the end of the day, this is a business. and you're in it for one reason in this business, and that's championships. That's rings, right?
And
Sean McDermott,
I agree.
Did not get.
I
it.
agree with the move. He did need. We said this in the show for how long now? I was with you the entire time. He did need to go 100%, but that doesn't mean that during the year, because they usually sit together, the owner and GM. He wasn't throwing them under the bus the whole season, though. I'm just saying a little bit. That might have been happening and saved his job a little bit too. That's a thought, food for thought. But it is time for him to put up a shut up now, and there's a lot of work to do. There's there's a little inkling that this little guy who got fired from the Giants might be coming back to your.
And so that's great. I'm glad you kind of swerved into that lane. Yeah. So, and I've been talking about this. Yeah, I've been talking about this. Scott bringing it up. I actually went ahead and purchased an island called We Believe in Bean Island. I already have people joining the island. I got myself. I got Mikey, my co-host, is already relaxing. Yeah, I got Dan Mitchell. He's already telling his followers, come to the dark side. Scott Blakely now seems like he may be moving to Bean Island as well. We're trying to get the good fan base onto We Believe in Bean Island. Listen, man, we got good things going on over there. We got Terry Bagula and his yacht. We got ladies over there on the yacht having boat favors. Oh, whoa, hey, I'm just saying, we don't know what kind of favors they are. We're having good times over there. We're having a great time, and We Believe in Bean Island, right? And you guys want to hang out with Karen yelling at radio stations? Go ahead. She's not welcome on this island. This island's about having fun and getting things done. So anyways, that's the Bean Island. That's the Bean Island. Right. So, Bill's Mafia, right now, we have a lot of room. You're more than welcome. But once this thing is filled up, I'm sorry. Like everybody that was bitching and complaining and didn't believe, we're going to have to turn you back around and send you back to land. You're not welcome on this island. So anyways.
Or the island explodes. We'll find out.
Or he hires Joe Brady and I'm fucking swimming back to shore. So.
Exactly.
But anyway, speaking of Brian Daboll. So initially, Juan, my number one selection, who I wanted, it was Mike McCarthy because I want an offensive-minded head coach. I like McCarthy. I know a lot of people are 50-50 on him, but I think, I think he's an excellent offensive mind. He's a player's coach. He holds his players responsible as well, accountable. He's been coaching in this league a long time, and most importantly, he has a Super Bowl. And he also works very well with quarterbacks. So
he does.
He would do a great job with Josh Allen. So there's a lot of good. Now, there's some bad with him, obviously, but I think that kind of falls. Every kind of coach has some flaws in a way. But, he, like I said, the experience, the Super Bowl hardware, and once again, offensive minded. Now, I changed my mind after I got to kind of thinking about everything and really just like what McDermott meant here to the players. And not only that, like kind of like moving on from a coach that you've known so long. I feel like hiring Brian Daboll, a guy that's been here, a guy that the players respect, know, and most importantly, Josh Allen knows very well, has a great relationship with. His offense here in Buffalo was top-notch. Josh Allen had his best years with Brian Daboll, and I think that would be a much easier transition with Brian Daboll coming back, a familiar face, also familiar with the owner, familiar with Brandon Beane. They have very good chemistry together. I think it's a fit. I'm not saying Brian Daboll's this great coach, but he did a good job in New York his first year. Kind of then, fell apart there a little bit. He has his flaws, and what I'm hoping is he could correct some of those flaws. Now, Sean McDermott, he never corrected the flaws too either. So that's, you guys can say what you want on him, but his flaws kind of remained the same throughout the seasons, and that's why I kept telling you guys. Sean McDermott is stubborn, and just like many coaches, right? They're unwilling to change. He didn't want to change his defensive scheme. He was bad with clock management. There was a lot of things that were Sean McDermott never changed as an NFL head coach. And maybe that's just something Brian Daboll won't do either, but I'm hoping he does a live and learn from his first head coaching experiment in New York. But back to Buffalo. I feel like if Brian Daboll comes here and he brings himself a good coaching staff, like a Jim Schwartz on defense, right, which would be unfucking real. And everyone's talking about Davis Webb being this, who's our former quarterbacks, and he's over with Denver right now. They're saying what an offensive genius he is, minded. I would love for him to be an OC here, right? If he's what all everyone's saying, that would be perfect match between Daboll and Davis Webb, because now you got a veteran head coach that's an offensive mind who can lean in and say, hey, maybe we don't do this. So it's great, right? And he can, they can kind of butt heads and just, talk football offensive, right? And then also, I feel like Brian Daboll would get back to doing what the most important thing here is and what Sean McDermott forgot about, and that's Josh Allen. You have to build your organization around your franchise quarterback. And I felt like many seasons, Sean McDermott just pushed it to the side. He felt he was fine. Josh Allen's a freak. He's our Superman. He'll be okay. He'll figure it out. I got to figure out everything else. I got to figure out my defense. I got to load up on I got to do this. And what happened was, because of that, you saw the offense start to, fall apart a little bit. You saw, Sean McDermott chiming in and what he wanted now to do with offense, which wasn't really his strong suit. He's a defensive-minded head coach. So things kind of turned sideways once Brian Daboll left, right? Because if you remember, Brian Daboll and Sean McDermott had a tug of war, right? Sean McDermott wanted the offense ran one way. Brian Daboll wanted it this way. And they constantly had this back and forth battle. Once Brian Daboll left, you saw the offense do a 360, and it went to what Sean McDermott wanted, which was old school football, which was run the ball, time management, slow, methodical drives. But unfortunately, that's not what Josh Allen does best. And I just felt like this offense sputtered because of that. I thought Allen suffered because of that. And now, if we do hire Brian Daboll or any offensive-minded head coach, I feel like their first job is to get on the phone with Josh Allen and let him know, I got your back. We're going to build this thing around you, and we're going to make this thing go. And that's what should have been done years ago. But I wish Sean McDermott the best. He's going to get hired. I think Cleveland would be an ideal spot for him. That is a fucked up organization, but the thing is, I don't trust the owner, so I don't know necessarily, if you'll succeed there because of that. But they need a guy like McDermott there. Like, that's a perfect organization. Maybe Arizona might be a good spot for him as well. Vegas might be an option. I haven't heard a peep, though, from Sean McDermott doing any interviews so far. Who knows? He might take a year off just to kind of take a breather. But that's my 2 cents in this whole situation, man. I think fans are blowing it way out of proportion. I think some are very hypocritical. I feel like a lot of fans have been saying fire McDermott for years now, and all of a sudden we do, and now they should have fired Bean instead. But if you go back on their timeline, even including some Buffalo Bills podcasters and national media, they all were saying fire McDermott at some point. And now all of a sudden, they should have kept him. He had a great season, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't about this season, and that's what they're missing. That's what they're missing. This is about 9 seasons of not getting the job done. It's unfortunate. It sucks, but it's the way it works, man. And I felt like, once again, it's not like they gave him 4 seasons, 5 seasons, 6. They gave him 9. That's 9. That's 9 long years. And how long were you going to continue to do this with the same results while Josh Allen continues to get older and older and older and eventually out of his prime, all for a coach that because you were scared of change, you didn't want to do that. And I'm glad Terry Bagula woke up, because I was afraid he wasn't, and he made the right choice. So we'll see who he brings in, which is obviously the next big step. But I have a feeling it will be Brian Daboll. Now, I know there's Kubiak over with Seattle, but the problem is here. Here's my biggest issue on. If they wait too long while they have these pretty good coaches that are available right now, those guys can go and get hired, and maybe Kubiak chooses not to say, hey, maybe it's not for me, or maybe I want to go back to Seattle one more year, or whatever. And now you're down to very few, right? So For me, I feel like if Brian Dable's your guy, or whoever it is right now, you make that choice. You don't wait around. You don't fuck around. You believe in what you got right there, because it's not a guarantee that this guy will go ahead and take that position. So right now, as you see, they're interviewing everybody, but I think they're just doing just to show, hey, look how many people want the job, right? It's almost like a show for them right now, because they're not hiring what's his name, the Phillip Rivers as head coach. You know what I mean? They're not hiring Mike McDaniel. By the way, Mike McDaniel's pulled out of the interview. They said so. He never did get interviewed by the Bills. He chose not to. So just a heads up on that, Bills fans. Mike McDaniel's. No, but he still could interview for head coach, and he declined. He wound up declining our offer.
He's doing this smart. This coach Justin Herbert for a year and all that, and then
exactly. But he doesn't have to, though. He's still like, even like any of these coaches that now took positions, they still can go and as long as it's a head coaching job, they could take that job. So let me get to some of the chat real quick, Juan, and then we'll get to our show. Tyler Dunn basically said all week it was McDermott on everything. So Tyler Dunn, look, I like Tyler Dunn. He wrote the hit piece on McDermott, and I will say this: I think there's a lot of truth in that article that he wrote about McDermott. But I also feel like a lot of Bills Mafia that, like Sean McDermott, is going to just say, hey, this guy is just, whatever he says, it's bashing McDermott, so don't take anything what he says serious. So in a way, he's going to have that on him because of that article. So, but I believe in Tyler Dunn's article for the most part. I didn't hear McDermott really shut it down, right? Like, I know if like somebody wrote a 3-page long article and Juan, this thing was, I mean, 3 pages. I would definitely defend myself if I was somebody wrote something about me. I'd at least say, hey, that shit's McDermott said nothing. Matter of fact, he apologized for some of the stuff in the article. So that kind of tells me there's some truth to it. It may not all be factual, but I do believe there's some truth to it. Let's see here. All I visualized on that tape was an angry purple-haired divorce. Right. She's like already, writing on her fucking, writing on her little poster there to go outside. And oh my God, it's snowing here in Seattle. It's 2 degrees here in Detroit. So seriously, Juan, congratulations to Scott Blakely. Look at it, man. See, we're good people over here. Tommy, that presser.
Always be my friend.
Beth, how you doing? Tommy, that presser was a shit show. You can say shit show. It was the worst presser I've ever seen. See, Beth, I don't think it was the worst. I'll be honest with you. I think there was parts in it, like I said earlier to Juan, where I expect a billionaire to act that way. Rude, a little obnoxious, a little bit arrogant, a little bit aggressive. Like that's nothing new. I kind of expected that. But you know what? To be honest with you, Beth, I want honesty. And I don't mind him being a little bit honest there. I don't want your typical bullshit press conference where they don't give you anything. He could have came out there and be like, bullshit. Sean McDermott was a great guy, great leader. And, we had to move on. Next question. I mean, and I'm not going to answer that. He could have ignored most questions. So I don't mind that he kind of spoke up and spoke the truth a little bit, or at least how he was feeling. But once again, I get what you're saying. The one thing I would say, the only thing I didn't like was him. He kept cutting off Bean at times. Let the guy talk, right? They asked him a question. Let him talk, or let him answer the question instead of you chiming in. And you can kind of tell in that one that I showed you in the beginning, Juan, Bean was like, he kind of looked, and what is he going to say? Hey, man, they asked me, no, it's his owner. Because, then he's going to get hot shit with this guy, right? Hey, what the fuck? He's going to look right back at him like, yo.
He was thinking of the most diplomatic answer he could think of at that time. And then Pagula's like, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Right. Because if you notice, he didn't ask him about Keon Coleman. He asked him about the wide receiver room.
Yeah.
He had that question was nothing about Keon Coleman. And he chimed in, right? And Bean's like, you can see him look over and he's like, all right, I'm going to shut the fuck up now because I'm not going to be like, yo, right? No, man. Like when you're look, that's the guy that writes a paycheck. You're going to shut the fuck up. And it is what it is. Now, And that's why I don't blame Bean at all in that presser. I thought Bean handled himself very well. He answered every single question as best as he could. So I didn't think it was a fucked up press conference. Like I said, there was moments I didn't like, but not everyone's going to be happy with the answers, that these people give them. F-18 here in Chicago, Wi-Fi out 2 days. Damn. Still say it should have been Bean. Yeah, well, Beth, I disagree. I guess you're not on We Believe in Bean Island just yet. But, Beth, I love you, man, and you're always welcome. Once you change your mind, if you do, I still have some seats available. We have plenty, actually, right now. You can come on.
She's not in the yacht or nothing. That's earlier in the chat. She's like, I ain't.
No, she's not. Okay, well, you know what, Beth, as a favor, I will still, because I'm as a favor, Keys, my buddy over at Post Podium, he's not a Bean guy either, but he's kind of reluctant right now. I told him I'll save him a spot because I like him. Good friend. Beth, you're a good friend as well. I will save you a spot when it starts to get full. I'll have that spot available because you will change your mind. I do believe in Bean. I do believe he'll get it done. And the time is now. They didn't fire the wrong guy. Sean McDermott was not going to get this team to a Super Bowl. There was no proof he was going to get this team to a Super Bowl. It was the same mistakes over and over, and we'll get to the Denver game in a minute. And I'll tell you why. Once again, McDermott did McDermott things in a tight game. But yeah, and that, by the way, is that Brandon Bean's fault? Did Brandon Bean go out there and do that dumb shit? No, of course not. By the way, you want to complain about the team, but yet we're still in that game, right? We did dumb shits because coaching, right? Every single year, a lot of our losses came down to being outcoached and our defense, right? Letting us down in situations. Was that Brandon Bean's fault? Did Brandon Bean go out there on 13 seconds and tell the special teams coach not to squib kick it, to kick it out of the end zone? Did he tell him to do that? Yeah, he did. Right?
That's crazy.
Did Brandon Bean tell Sean McDermott not to go ahead and fire his special teams coach afterward and not even address the 13 seconds? Did Brandon Bean tell Sean McDermott to go in the locker room and tell his, complain to coaches that we shouldn't have given him 13 seconds left to go? We should have held the ball a little bit longer on offense. I mean, what is going on here? Like, come on, man. Once again, I'm not saying Brandon Bean's been perfect, but a lot of our losses come down to coaching. They are already saying by Monday morning, Buffalo will be in a state of emergency. Damn. All right. Well, I'm sorry about that. I know we're going to get snow here, I believe Sunday or Monday. I don't go to work till Tuesday. So, yeah. So I just did my shopping. That's why I was on a little bit late. I told Juan I'm going to go ahead and get the shit done with now. And that's what I did. So I apologize, guys, that we started a little bit late, but nothing to do today, right, Juan? We're just chilling, having a good time. It's just me and Juan today. This is also the last show of AFC East Shakedown for the season. So I appreciate you guys rocking with us all year, and it's been great. I wish it was different. I wish it was Bills versus Patriots, to be honest with you. But we'll talk about it. We'll get into that in a minute. It is what it is. You can't. I wish there was a lot of things. I wish wide right didn't happen, but unfortunately it did. So, you know what I mean? Woo! I'm trying to catch up, Juan, with all this chat. I'm sorry, man. Enjoy that hot cocoa. Soak it in that you guys are going to Super Bowl while I'm reading these chats. Anyone, Sandra, anyone on the island passing out pink powder? Look, the favors are on the yacht.
I already made the Diggs joke earlier.
I have nothing. Look, man, I've already got my styrofoam cup. I'm chilling, right? I need it. All right. Kim was the president of football operations. She was amazing with the players and staff. Yeah, but unfortunately, Beth, she had a heart attack. So, and look, and I'm not making fun of it, but she did, right? She had a heart attack, and she's no longer able to do those stuff. So we were without a president of football operations for a while. We had somebody fill in, but he was more business, and now that guy is actually he's back to where he was known for, which is I think president of business or something, whatever the fuck that is called. But it's unfortunate, Beth, but I believe Bean will get the job done. I do. So I also feel like Bill's Mafia is a little bit too rough on him right now. Let's see what the man can do. I mean, we're just judging him on what, you know what I mean? He didn't really have a lot to say here with Sean McDermott. Now this is his show, right? So now's his opportunity to prove you guys, the doubters, people that are doubting him wrong, you guys wrong. So we'll see. He has his plate full. I agree. But I'll tell you what, if he gets the job done, a lot of you guys are going to be eating crow. And if he doesn't, I'll be eating crow, and I'm okay with that. Left my house off only if Diggs is there. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what Pagula gets into. His wife is chilling at home. I have no idea. Pagula has a new COO of football and hockey. See, I don't watch hockey, but I know the Sabres are doing better this year. So I guess that's a good thing. I'm not on that yacht. Beth, that's fine. You can come on the island. You don't need to go party with the big timers on the yacht. You hang out with me and Dan Mitchell. You know what I mean? Come on, man. We're chilling, man. Have a margarita. Relax, all right? Everything's going to be all right. Kim is missed for sure. I heard Pagula's daughter, damn sharp in post. Yeah, so Scott, their daughter's really good at tennis. One of the best, actually. I think she's like top 5. So good for her. I'm sorry I'm not on Bean Island. Not till I get this. That's fine. Look, it's still open. This isn't, it's not private yet, but, don't wait around too long. It is still signed, but it is a joke. I'm warming to Dable. I am sure he learned tons and failure with. Yeah, listen. If you live and learn, man. I think he'll be all right if we hire him. You got to go. He just has to build a good coaching staff. I like Pagula's daughter. Close a lot. Yeah. Yep. Turning McDermott into a Marty is ridiculous. Turning McDermott into a Marty, a martyr. Turn him into, I don't know. Turn him into whatever, but I don't, look, he's not here anymore, right? And fans got to get over that. Like, stop your crying. He didn't win anything here. Stop. I don't understand what the problem is here. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm sorry, guys. This isn't Don Shula or Marv Levy. Like, this isn't greatness. This isn't Bill Belichick, right? Like, you know what I mean? We're not going to fucking put a statue outside of Sean McDermott clapping his hands. It's just not going to happen.
I mean,
he didn't do anything. Like, he didn't do nothing. Like, he did a lot by getting this team.
Like this?
Yeah.
Like that?
Like, I'll take that back. When I say he didn't do anything, he did stuff here. He did good things. He did a lot of good things. But the main thing, he didn't get done. And that's the Super Bowl. So, so that's all. It happens. I don't know why people are so offended by them moving on. Dable knows him very exactly. That's my point. He knows him. He knows Josh very well. I think the players also can, like I said, everybody else in the locker room that's a little bit.
Weston put a good comparison when you get there in the comments. Really
Weston, okay, am I a little bit more down? Let me see here.
It's like this.
Damn, guys. I am so fucking behind, man. Marty Schottenheimer won 13 games in double digits to win like 6 times at KC. They didn't win shit. Yeah, and I tell people all the time, Weston, go look at Marty Schottenheimer's coaching career. Just not in KC. His coaching career was unreal. Like, he had winning seasons everywhere. Excellent coach.
Could not get it done.
But couldn't get it done for whatever reason. And maybe it's fucked up reasons. Maybe, I get it. 90s, the Bills ran shit, right? When he had his best teams in the early, it is what it is, right? Like, he was just in the wrong year, right? For the wrong era, at least there with the Chiefs, because maybe if it wasn't for, like I said, it wasn't for us, maybe he does get through. I don't know. But either way, didn't get the job done. It doesn't matter, right? And same with McDermott. We could say, man, the Chiefs, right? Oh, if it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes, maybe we'd have gotten, well, maybe. I don't know. But we didn't. It doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, we can't keep going with excuses. Oh, injuries. Oh, the Chiefs. Oh, this and that. Oh, Bean didn't get him receivers. Oh, this and that. Like, guys, like, come on, man. Like, every coach is going to, then every coach has an excuse. Then every year, like, we got to stop that. It's in 9 years. It was time to move on.
Belichick's in the way. Tom Brady's in the way.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Stop. Jessica's her name. Yes, Jessica Boo.
Tell that to Denver. Tell that to Peyton Manning. They've done it.
Exactly.
It took a while, but they did it. So
right. I mean, look at Denver, and when they had what was the coach's name? Initial coach's name in Denver. Went to Dan Reeves.
Finally won.
No, before that they had Dan Reeves. They could not get the job done. They moved on. They got
Shanahan.
was it Shanahan? Yeah. Mike Shanahan, right? Mike, right? I think it was Mike, right? And got 2 Super Bowls back to back. So like it's needed it sometimes. It definitely needed. Change is not always for the bad. Like I just think, man, sometimes, Juan, people are so afraid of change in life, just in general. They're afraid of changing their phone because, I mean, simple things, right? Like your phone. Like, I'm so used to it. I know where all the apps are. I know where this is. I know how to, if I get a new phone, it's going to be a pain in the ass, and I don't want to. I'll just stick with the old phone, even though it's starting to slow down, even though it's sluggish. I tell people all the time, I use the same, I do this, same thing where I tell people, you can go back to the same pizza spot over and over because it's good pizza. But you could also go down the street and maybe try out a few others and risk it. It could be bad, but it could be great. So what are you going to do? Just stick with the good? Or do you want to risk it, right, and just take a chance and maybe get a great slice of pizza instead of just going with the same old rinse and repeat? For me, I like change. And I think change sometimes has to be done in life in general, right? And in this case, it needed to be done, plain and simple. So we just spent 35 minutes on one topic, but it was needed to be discussed.
It's the biggest topic in the.
It is. It is. And by the way, and we won't even stick with this because who gives a fuck? But the Dolphins did hire some fucking coach from the Green Bay Packers.
Defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Jeff Hafley or whatever the fuck his name is. Never heard of the guy. Yeah, but they did hire Green.
Weren't that good, so I don't know. I don't know.
They hired their GMs from Green Bay. So it's kind of, he got his own guy. It seems like he didn't even entertain it almost. It didn't even entertain the idea of anybody else. I bet his mind was already made on this guy. But hey, we'll see. Look, man, it is what it is. The Dolphins needed to move on. We'll see if this guy's the answer. I don't know anything about him. He could be. I have no idea. Maybe he'll hold players responsible there. Maybe he'll turn the ship. I have no idea. But I think Dolphin fans right now are just desperate, and they don't. It is what it is, right? They were willing to
suck.
Yeah. It's going to be a while for them. I would be shocked if they have a turnaround fast. Buffalo, who wants to be?
They just hired a yes man. That's all they did. And then, credit was here. You hear the whole spiel.
Yep. All right. So let's get into this. Let's go ahead and get into the games. So we'll get into the other games first, like we normally do. So let's get into I guess we'll talk Rams Bears. What a game. Another close, good game in the playoffs.
We don't need to talk about the other one. Yeah.
No, we won't. We'll just say Seattle, the score, but
40. Done. Next.
So Seattle 41-6. San Francisco just had way too many injuries. It was not going to happen in Seattle. Seattle is, man, that's a tough team. That is a tough team. Rams got their hands full against Seattle. I'm going to tell you right now. We'll see what the Rams can do. But
tomorrow.
Yeah, I have the Rams going. I picked them, but boy, Seattle, their defense is legit. I got to be honest. But back on this game, Rams Bears. It was closer than I thought. 2017, the Rams wound up winning in overtime. What an unbelievable throw by I mean, really kind of not. I don't believe in luck, but it was just hey, I got no choice here. I hope my guy gets there. I hope the ball But it was, hey, give him credit. He did see the guy. It was, I don't think he was just throwing it up, but sloppy defense by the Rams there to allow that, though, to be honest with you, to watch that ball, watch him fade away. Like, you had plenty of opportunity. I don't know how two guys, and it seemed, I think there was two defenders on the guy, too, and they both kind of slid off. Yeah.
And got it.
Yeah. Got behind him. So it was a hell of a play. It was a good game. In Chicago, so I think that's kind of what halted the Rams a little bit in their offense, slowed them down a little bit. Cole got to him, but ultimately the better team won, the better quarterback won, in my opinion. But I got to say, for Chicago, man, they have a bright future, man. I do. I think Ben Johnson, he is definitely the right guy for the job there. He's turned that team around, And they just have some pieces they got some holes they gotta fill in or whatever, but they'll be okay. I think they will, because once again we talk about coaches, and he seems like a good one. So, but the Rams, they got through, man. What's your thoughts on the Rams?
Well, for this game, I thought that Ben Johnson showed his rookie coaching a little bit there. I don't know, because he didn't feel like trusting Caleb Williams, because I don't blame him from some of the ridiculous picks he threw in that game. Or not, but he kind of went a little too conservative at some point. And when I say conservative, about for their play calling, not their decisions, because they went for it a few times, know that, but they kept trying to like run up the gut like 50 times. I don't know why he kept doing that instead of giving the ball to Caleb Williams. And then at the end of the game, at the end of regulation, Caleb Williams wound up coming through. And it's hard for me to say it's fake when he's done that like 7 times in this year. So that's just what he does. To me, he's like a interesting Rain Man type quarterback. Like he'll play, look stupid and play like dog shit for like 45 out of the 60 minutes. But that last quarter and whatever, something sparks, and then he just looks like the number 1 pick he's supposed to look like and start hitting insane plays. I jump. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I am not a Caleb Williams supporter. I used to hate him. I don't hate him anymore. This year the trajectory went up a little bit for him. But I still see the mistakes. Then you saw what happened in overtime, which is controversial, because when you look over to the tape on that interception he threw to finish the game, it looked like DJ Moore stopped running his route. I don't know.
It did. That was really odd, right?
So,
like he gave up on the play.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that was a hell of an interception too that they threw. That was a really good play, but it looked like he stopped running his route. So at first I'm like, Caleb, you piece of shit, what the fuck? But then once you looked at the tape, I'm like, wait. He kind of slowed down. Wait a minute.
Yeah. So just kind of gave up on it. It was odd.
And it cost them the game because it was game over right from that spot.
Yeah.
They let Rams fat kicker make the field goal. That dude is fat as hell.
Yeah, fat fucking Janikowski 2.0 over there. I mean, hey, good for him. He made it. He did make it. He made it
like Seabass would. So the Seabass nice. Let's say so. It was good. But the Rams, I'm so surprised at how, again, but we probably just said it's probably because of the weather, but the Bears defense was really
they were bringing it. They did as best as they could. I mean, to hold them to what the hell to 20 points, that Rams offense is legit. But once again, like we said, I think it was just tough environment at home. Crowd was loud, legit. Really, like I said, really cold weather. Not an ideal place for that offense to be, but they did just enough.
Bro. What's
going on in the comments?
Spin is doing spin stuff. Everybody.
Spin. Spin is he's a crazy guy, bro. I don't tell you. But yeah. So now, it was. All right.
Ready?
Well, here we go.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready as it can be.
I mean, you did it already. Like I listened to the show right after.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm used to it as a Bills fan by now. There's so much to take away from that game. Look, man. At the end of the day, it just seems like the Bills have this bad luck, this bad just aura that surrounds them for some odd reason where things just don't go right when they should go right or need to go right. This game, a lot of self-inflicted, wound, by us, right? A lot of turnovers, uncharacteristic. Once again, we know all the games we lost this year were similar fashions where we turn the ball over, we play sloppy football, we don't get out the gate fast, we're down at halftime. I told you guys cannot trail at the half because we're 4-5 in the regular season. We were 8-0 when ahead at halftime. We were when we were not winning the turnover battle. Once again, we were losing those games. I don't think we won any game that we didn't win the turnover battle this year. It was just a recipe for disaster. It started, to be honest with you, was the James Cook fumble. And it's funny that a lot of people kind of ignore that or forget about that. But the Bills were starting off great. We were up 7-3. We were moving the ball again with ease down the field. We're down at the Broncos 30, I believe it was, and James Cook fumbles the ball. we're going to go up there easily, 10-3, 14-3. The momentum is going to be so heavily in our favor at that point. You're going to draw the fans out of the game, which they were electric, by the way. Denver's crowd was loud as fuck. But you go up there 14-3, you're quieting them down some, right? You're getting them a little bit out of the game there, right? Also, the momentum is heavily in your favor, right? Now the Broncos now they're going, we're down 14-3, right? So it is a big difference there, right? In how that went, that swing. Fumble, they go down and they score, they take the lead. And then it was just kind of like a turnover fest for us from that point forward. People want to blame Josh Allen for the first half fumble. Look, he's partially to blame. No doubt about it, right? We're not going to sit here and pretend that Josh Allen is perfect or he didn't make the mistakes in this game. However, I say that play should have never happened. Now, Spin will be in here arguing that. However, I am a true believer in how game flow is going, right? I'm all about game flow, right? What I'm looking at, right, if I'm a coach, I'm going, okay, we got 16 seconds here. 16 seconds. We got no timeouts, right? They just scored a touchdown. We get the ball in the second half. I know my offense at this point. We're not necessarily, throwing deep bombs down the field here, right? We're not getting massive chunk yards. Matter of fact, that's not how our offense has been all year, right? Here we go.
You ignited spin. You ignited.
That's false. That's false. I'll even go back. I'll show a screenshot of the 16 seconds remaining. No timeouts. I will show you if you really want to go back. We had no timeouts. So, anyways, and I really wish I could. Juan, if you want to actually pull that up, if you can, it showed 0 on there. So, yeah, because there's a replay, actually. If you go back and look at the fumble initially, if you go back, you'll see they had no timeouts. When Josh Allen took the run, or when he was in shotgun, you look below at the score, you'll see the 3 dots. We had 0. We had no dots filled at the 16-second mark. I went back, I saw. Now, unless they were wrong on the replay there that I watched, but we had 0 timeouts. But let's say we even had 1 with 16 seconds. We're still not driving the ball down the field within that many times with these kind of players that we have on our field, with the receivers. Our offense wasn't built like that this year. We weren't a fast scoring offense, right? Getting the ball down the field with ease. But yeah, let me. Do you see it?
You did not.
I told you. No timeouts. You see?
38 seconds left in the first half is when you lose your third timeout.
Exactly. Right. And when he fumbled at that play,
and you
on shotgun at the 30, 16 seconds to go.
16 seconds left. Yep. You had no timeouts.
So thank you very much, Juan. Sven, I do my homework, but I needed to just make sure. Maybe I was fucked up in the head when I did it. But we had no timeouts at the 30. Once again, what are you doing, right? Now, what is Josh Allen doing, too? Like, come on, guy. You know what I mean? Like, you took off, fine, slide there, taking it, like, don't. Why are you holding the ball out like this?
We're talking about the first half when Josh Allen threw the ball backwards.
We're talking about
the first
correct,
half, not the second, because I see ice the kicker.
Correct.
That later in the game.
Okay, we're talking about the first half fumble before the half. That play should have never happened. McDermott came out at halftime, talked to the reporter. She asked, "What were you doing there?" He wanted to be aggressive. Really fucking dumb. And this goes back to what McDermott does in tight situations. When things aren't going right, especially when things aren't going right, he tightens up. He does dumb shit. Do I want to remind you guys of the fake punt by DeMar Hamlin?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
One of the slowest guys on the field. Like, guys, come on, man. He does this all the... Do I want to remind you of the Houston Texans game from last year? When we had the ball at our end of the field, all we had to do was run the clock out, right? Instead, he throws it 3 times, punts the ball, they win the field goal. They win by a field goal. Like, this is what I'm talking about, guys. So, no, I don't necessarily blame Josh Allen, honestly, on that fumble, for the most part. Like, he should have been smarter with it, but that play should have never happened.
So
period.
The way I will put that, I do blame him for the fumble because nobody told you.
I do, yeah, because he was.
But he shouldn't have been put in that position to begin with. That I agree with.
Correct. Like that play should have never.
Like, why aren't y'all kneeling the ball?
Should have never happened. Should have never happened.
The ball at half. So just kneel the ball and go into half.
Just kneel the ball, right? Like there's no situation there like that. There was not. Look, if we had the Rams offense, if we had Puka, if we had Devontae Adams, if we had Justin Jefferson, like if we had that type of offense where I'm like, yo, this guy can get easily open at 25-yard, and then we call a timeout, or we go out of bounds, we get another one, or we spike the ball. Maybe we can get at the 40, right? 45, give our kicker a chance. Fine, I'm with that. But this offense was not built that way. It wasn't ever that way. Like, so what made McDermott think all of a sudden in this particular game we're going to be able to go down the with no time on 16 seconds? Come on, man. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. So Tommy is saying Allen is not smart enough to admit. I didn't say that. He made a bad decision. He's partially responsible. However, he's also not the fucking head coach. Spin. If his head coach said, Allen, we're going to go ahead and kneel this down. We're going to kneel down, go into tap. Allen's not going to go, fuck that, coach. We're going for it. I'm Josh Allen. He's going to do what his coach tells him to do, period. Right? I get what you're saying. He is partially responsible. However, the coach is also mainly responsible because the play should have never happened. I don't know why you want to fight and argue that. Should have never happened. Right? I'll give you a better example. Miami Hurricanes a couple years back. We had the game won. And our fucking dumbass coach, I like now, chose to run the ball. Right? Because he wanted, I don't know, get our running back more yards, whatever the fuck the case may be. The running back fumbled. So you're going to blame the running back? Sure, he's partially, I guess. But should the play ever been ran or happen? No. So what are we talking about here? Come on, man. It's you got to be smart. That's the coach's decision. You don't think, by the way, you don't think quarterbacks, every fucking team want to go for it on fourth down? If they had, of course they would. Every time they'd be like, nope, coach, I'm going to do it. And I don't care what. Why do coaches make the decision? Because it's on them, right? No. We're going to punt the ball here, Josh, right? It's 4th and 5. If it was up to Josh, we'd going for it every fucking time. Any quarterback for the most part. But that's why you have a head coach to make those decisions. I don't know why you want to fight this. This is really simple. You have a head coach for a reason. Plain and fucking simple. He's responsible for clock management. He's responsible for game flow, everything. That is true. But you guys want to sit here and you want to always put the blame on one. Look, man, once again, could Josh have played better? Of course. He made some poor decisions. But, look, it's just crazy.
You're my favorite.
Spin is just like...
He's upset.
I don't think...
He ignited it. This is a week ago.
By the way, he didn't pitch the ball to nobody. It got hit if you go and watch that play.
Behind. Yeah.
However, was he careless with the ball? Of course.
Absolutely.
I get it. I'm not saying Allen... people just miss the point. But whatever, Spin. You just want to stir shit up. I don't give a fuck. Whatever you want to believe. You want to believe McDermott's fucking the man. He should have called that play. Yeah. Fine. I think it's a terrible decision. That's one. 2. For as poorly as Allen played, right? And he did. He had some bad decisions. No doubt about it. Really but he also made some hella throws. Yeah. He also did. Yeah. And at the end of the day, right? When we talk about, and you're going to get into this when your game, when you talk about,
I have the baby version of that. Exactly.
When you talk about turnovers, you talk about some poor decision making, whatever it may be, when it comes to your quarterback, the end result, meaning did your quarterback still put you in a position at the end of the game to win the game is all I care about. The rest, because you know what? We win the game, right? Let's say the Bills defense gets a fucking stop when we got the lead. We're sitting here talking about AFC Championship game. Allen needs to play a little bit cleaner, though. But we're not really going, oh, Allen is poor before. You know what we're saying? Damn, Allen, 55 seconds, led the team down, whatever. Took the lead, played bad, but when it counted the most, he hit these guys, hit that guy, and we got the fucking win for the field goal, and we fucking went on to AFC. Nobody's caring too much about the turnovers because you're remembering what? The Allen throw to Hardman. You remember the Allen throw to Cooks. Like you're going, damn, Allen dropped some dimes at the end, and we won, and we walked off at the field. Unfortunately, none of that happened. Right? So my point is this. Allen didn't play a good game. I get it. He was responsible for that loss. Yes. So was James Cook. So was McCole Hardman. So was Brandon Cooks. So was our defense. So was Sean McDermott. There was a lot of people. This was a team loss, in my opinion. However, Josh Allen got the lead with under 3 minutes to go. 4-point lead. Our defense could not get them off the field. They had twice, 3rd and long. Could not. Sean McDermott, when Dane Jackson got hurt, when Trey White got hurt, they put in Dane Jackson. What did Sean Payton do? He goes, great. I'm going to go and attack Dane Jackson. What does McDermott do? He doesn't even send any help over Dane Jackson's side. He's a defensive-minded head coach. He blew it. When our safety went out and they put in, what's his name? Savage. Once again, no help. What did Sean Payton do? Attacked Savage right away. Touchdown. Like, guys, he got out coached again. He got out coached again. Like, what don't you see here? Right? He got out coached by an offensive coordinator yet again. Just like he got out coached against Andy Reid multiple times and by the way, all tight games. Pretty much. All these games came down to 3 points, right? 4 points, whatever it was. A field goal away, right? A point away. Like, all these games came down to decision-making, right? And most of it was poor decision-making by our head coach, right? So, once again, this is a team loss. I'm not going to point the finger totally at McDermott. Now, refereeing. I also want to sprinkle them in a little bit on this loss. Now, I don't like to do it much because I think both teams get bad calls every game. I think referees, I think other teams can go, well, but we got the hose on this one, and I got Bronco fans going, yeah, but the game would have been over. You guys held in the end zone. That would have been 2 point in the game. I get that. I understand that. However, I'm talking about specific plays. And if you want to bring that one up, fine. But the Brandon Cooks play, I'm sorry, that was a catch. I don't give a fuck what the rules say, how they interpret it. 2 games later, it happened. The same, almost identical play. They called it a catch. Devontae Adams, and in the, I believe in your game as well. There was a play. I believe there was another game. There was a play as well, or was it the Bears game? It might have been the Bears game. There was 2 of them, but Adams was one of them. But my point is, look, man. When I go back and I looked at that frame by frame, I slowed that motherfucker down. When you have possession, and he did, I don't care what anyone says, he had possession of the ball. When your elbow hits and a player's on top of you, and then your body hits and you still have possession, that is considered down, that you're done. When they rolled is when the ball came loose. That play should have been over with when their body hit. When his elbow hit, and if you want to be technical, when his back hit, the ball was still a 50-50. Both players had possession at that point. But for me, and for the rules, the NFL, the offense always gets the 50-50. It's been that way for years. So for me, I feel like that was a catch. He got hosed. Now, do I feel like Brandon Cooks didn't sell it right? He probably should have got up and been more like fighting that he had possession. Do I feel like he should have been manning up more and holding that rock a little bit tighter? Sure. But for me, that was a catch. That's one. 2, I hated how they just kind of went on with the game.
Yeah, I was about to say that. They didn't review
Did
it.
not,
Kind of crazy.
didn't. Yeah, all we got was what the commentators were saying. And of course, the referee guy's going to agree with the fucking bullshit call. He's not going to cite against the NFL for the most part. They got to change that shit. Will they? Probably not. I would love for them to have an XFL. I heard UFL's doing it too, where they actually take you in the booth. They show you the monitors. They have a guy upstairs going, okay, you know, they frame it by frame it, kind of like I did. And at least, you know what? Fine. If you say no catch, I'll live with that. I will. I'll say, you know what? At least okay, right? They showed us. They showed the ball. Fine. But they didn't do that. They rushed through it. And then you had similar situations right after in different games. So I don't get what's a catch anymore. I don't get what's not a catch anymore. I don't get what a fumble. Like the NFL, they have to get better with their referees. And I get it. It's human nature. You're going to make mistakes, but that's what you got guys in the booth for. That's what you got millions of cameras, 4K, 8K, whatever the fuck, surrounding a stadium, the field, the game of play. You can see, you can look in and monitor, you can figure it out and get the right call on the field. And I feel like they didn't get the right call. There was also a pass interference I felt on Brandon Cooks prior to that, going into the end zone where his arm was being held. They did not call that. Once again, I'm not going to put it all on the refs, but I'm going to sprinkle it in that they didn't help us much either by some of those shady calls. And it seems like Buffalo gets that treatment. I don't know why. And I see, Triple G, and I'm bringing this up too, and you may not be happy about it, but the Worthy catch the year prior, another one that was very similar that they called a catch. It was Cole Bishop, 50-50. I don't know if you remember that, Juan. The ball hit the ground, clearly hit the ground, and they called it a catch by Worthy. So I don't understand the rules. I don't get it. They got to fix it. But at the end of the day, look, the Bills lost that game more than just because of the refs. I'll sprinkle them in. They didn't help much there. But look, having 5 turnovers, I believe we had, trailing at halftime, poor coaching decision before the half, coming out the second half with another turnover, to start the second half. All those things are a recipe for disaster and usually has a team losing. So, we lost. It is what it is. And we moved on from our head coach. Juan, what do you think about the game and all that was just said?
So I'll let you chill. I was like, bro, this was your hour, man. You had a week, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's I'm used to it though. I got tough skin, man. Being a Bills fan, it is what it is.
Yeah, I hear you.
Look, Triple G, 100% a catch. He's talking about the Worthy catch.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? No, so they both. It was down in the. Let me see if I can pull it up. So go ahead and talk. I'll pull it up so I can kind of show you that catch.
That if I was a fan of the Bills like you, I'd be fucking pissed off and shit too. You know what I really hate? I hate when passing interferences get called for when quarterbacks throw ducks. So the last penalty that set up your loss, basically, I was so fucking mad.
Dude, I didn't even bring that up either.
Bro, he threw a duck. It's like, do not call pass.
Bro, he skied it.
When the receiver has to come back 10
and he
yards.
stopped, and he slowed down.
I hate that shit. That had
that one I was 50-50, but the one earlier in the drive, the Cam Lewis one, bro, if you're going to call that, once again, then we should have gotten the call in the end zone on Brandon Cooks being held. What are we doing here? You're right though, 100%.
And the rest, I can't fucking stand it. That's the biggest thing. If you're gonna be trash, then do it both ways. Call the shit the same way. That's all I want. Consistency. Call it the same, and whatever happens, happens. If you make a bad decision in my book doesn't matter. But at least you're calling everything the same, and that's all I want.
Exactly.
Gonna get the same treatment.
Exactly. All right, I got it right here. All right, so here we go. This is the Worthy play. I'll mute it. Oh, I thought I muted it.
Okay.
Okay, now Hopefully they show the replay. If not, I'll find it. So as you see, they're fighting for. Oh, here we go. Now there's another replay where you see the ball actually move. Hold on. So let me see if I can find that play. Oh, right here.
Look at that.
job.
Oh no, still not it. There's a replay where you see the ball move on the ground. Fuck, man. Thought it had it there, but it clearly moves, jumps back up in his arm. Man, I don't have it. Too bad, man. I would love to show it to you, but I don't. But it clearly jumped out, like it moved basically, right? So everybody knows that particular one wasn't a catch because the ball like hit the ground and popped back up into his hand. So it should have been incomplete, and it wasn't. It was called for the Chiefs. So we got hosed there, but there's plenty of examples. You know, yesterday, like I said, the Devontae Adams thing, and there was another one. I forget who it was. Guys in the chat, let me know what game it was where there was a similar play in the catch by Brandon Cooks or on that weekend. So, but anyway, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Juan.
You're good. That completely went into my memory. I don't remember that at all. The thing is that I want to talk about their quarterback, but he's not going to be playing tomorrow. So that kind of takes out what I want to say, because I was actually fairly impressed with Bo Nix. I thought he played pretty damn well for that game. The Denver defense, I'm not. I don't. After what we went through last week, I don't think this will be a problem compared to what we went through last week. Because last week that was trenches. Last week we were dug in World War II in the trenches against Germany. That was a fight last week. This, I don't think that defense is not. They're not as good as advertised. And I've been hearing a lot of moolah coming out of people's mouths all week. Week.
They're heavy trash talkers, by the way, in Denver, and heavy. So here's the Cook here's the catch by Cook. So
They blocked.
For me. For me, he has possession right there. Okay, he has possession's not moving. Possession, knees down. Players touching him. He still has possession. His shoulders down. He has now right here. I think they both have possession. Right. I don't think the ball's moved, but I think they both have possession. Right. I don't see it like you can. Matter of fact, you can see Cook's hand here on the top of the ball, because the way he was holding the ball, Juan, was like this on the top. So his hand was on the point of the ball, on the bottom point. His other hand was on the top. I think how he won the ball is because his hand was on the side. So when they rolled, it was easier for him to have a better, to grip it away. Yeah. But right here, it's 50-50. You can see his point of the ball here. You can see his other hand was on the bottom point here. Right here is where he took it away. Matter of fact, you can still see him fighting for the ball there. Right there. Like they both still have the ball there, and then he rips it away. But for me, he was down the moment right there. For me, he's down by contact. And I'll tell you this why, too. I believe that strongly about that. And people want to act like, oh, he didn't make a football moves around. Look, if a player is laying on the ground, I've seen it a million times, and a quarterback, ever see a player slide for a catch? They're already on the ground, so the ball's low, they catch it, a defender comes down and hits him or even touches him. Boom, hits their helmet. They're down by contact. They didn't make a football move. They're down. They're laying down. They caught it on their back. Boom, player come and hit their helmet or whatever. Even it doesn't matter. The player is down. Once you do any kind of, and I'll give you another great example. When a player slides to the ground and makes the catch, he can get up and run. And if a player quickly punches the ball right when he gets up, right when his knee lifts up, and a player punches it, it's considered a fumble. He didn't make a move. He literally just stood up to get up and run. I've seen it a million times. So once he's down and a player touches him, whatever there might, to me, he's down by contact. That's it. The play is dead. So I just don't understand why the refs didn't see that. I don't get the rules then. I really don't. They're saying he has to have possession throughout the total process, but you're telling me that's anything different right there? Knee down, rips the ball. You see that? I don't get it. What's the difference there? Like, I'm sorry. I don't understand. I don't. Right there. You don't think he's down? I mean, is he not down there? His whole body's on the floor, Juan. Like, I'm not trying to make this excuse, but come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just go there and rip the. Right when you touch that player, he's officially down. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? He could be laying there with the ball, slid, made the catch, grabbed it, and he goes and try to rip it. He's already down. Once his hand hit his shoulder, once his hand hit his side of his stomach, doesn't matter. You're down. His knee touches his leg. That's it. The play is done. It's over. So I really feel like we got hosed there. Big time. I do wish Brandon Cooks made the catch, but come on, man. I mean, I've seen so many angles at this, Juan. I like, what's your thoughts on it? And be honest, you're not a Bills fan, so I'll take it for what it is. What do you feel on this play? Even if let's say you're a Broncos fan, or let's say this is your team. Let's say you're the Patriots, we're the Bills, this happened against you guys. Be real. Like, don't, side it from how you see it. Or let's say this is your team.
When I saw it initially, because I didn't do the homework that you did, because you made it your life's work. This is your dissertation right now, trying to figure this shit out. So initially last week, I was like, all right, it's fine. It's an interception, whatever. He got bitched out. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
But once you slow it down and look at this shit, it does look pretty bad. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. I was thinking about that. I'm like,
the Cooks,
kind of known for fucking up in big moments.
I will say this about Cooks. His hands are, I think he's a good player. I think he's getting out of his prime. Obviously, he's probably just now finally out of his prime, but he's still good. I still wouldn't mind him as a third receiver. But I feel like his hands are just so they're not good. They're not strong. He doesn't have maybe his small hands. I don't know.
Yeah, that is what won us that Super Bowl. That's 53. That's when we won 13-3. That right there is how we won the Super Bowl. I remember this like this was 2 minutes ago.
Look at that. Should have had it.
By himself in the fucking end zone. We did cover zero blitz on that play. That
should have had it.
When it come after Jared Goff. He was by himself like this, going at Jared Goff. That's Jason McCourty right there. Fucking ran 25 yards down to the end zone. Jared Goff threw it a little late, but it's cover zero blitz. This is young Jared Goff.
Right.
I think for him, he just launched the shit at him. It got where it needed to go. And you can see right there, Jason barely even touched his arm. Motherfucker dropped that ball.
Yep. Yeah, I think either he has small hands or he just needs to work. Maybe he's just not strong. Like, you know what I mean? He's not fully gripping the. I don't know. Whatever reason he drops these pass. But I'll tell you what, it was a theme with him this season though. Like even some of the good catches, he kind of fumbled and
bobbled up a little bit,
he bobbled. Yeah, they were never clean catches. Like right here is another great example right here. That's the rollover though. Like that's when he already had it.
Yeah.
That's the rollover, but it's too late. Like for me, right there, I think that it's over with. I think when he leaned on him, right here. I mean that even here, it's 50-50.
It's tough to me. It's really tough. But if it's 50-50, is your ball.
It goes to the offense, right? Yeah. So I don't.
It's so tough.
Right there. And you can see him rip it away at the last when they're on the ground, right there. You can see him fighting for it still on the turnaround. You know what I mean? And then he gets possession but you see what I'm talking about how he was holding the ball there?
Yeah. Nose to nose.
That's possession.
Side. If it was
on the note, yeah. Now I will say this too. Now here's the holding. You're telling me that's not holding? First of all,
we went through that.
First of all, he's holding his jersey.
No, he grabbed his arm. That's flag.
And then he grabbed his grabbing his arm
boom.
again.
That's all you need to see. That's a flag. Right.
And then you know what? That would have been first down at the 1 yard line, bro. But once again, I get it. It goes both ways. You know what I mean? Where I know they got hosed on the overtime call. I get that. But man, get it right, man. Just get these calls right. I wish I knew what the other game was in this weekend's, because there was one and I can't find it now. If anyone in the chat knows, let me know. But
especially
there was
barely any catches caught in my game. So
it might have been, but I don't recall. But when they went out and talked to a lot of former receivers, former DBs, they all thought, I haven't heard one. I mean, maybe there was a few, but I haven't heard. They all said they thought that was a catch. Even some DBs, I think even Richard Sherman was like, we never got that fucking call back in the day. That would have been 50-50 goes to the offense. You know what I mean? Like, so I just, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be, saying that's the reason why we lost. But my God, the refs got to do better. That's all I'm saying, folks. I think that's just my main complaint when it comes to the NFL.
Might have been one of the worst years for officiating. It's every week is some bullshit with them all season long. And as you can see, it's starting to bleed into the playoffs. I thought last week in the wild card round, I don't remember them being bad, if I remember correctly. Yeah. I think the refs actually roughed a good weekend. But yeah, they've been ass this season. It's been insane, bro.
That's what I said initially. When it happened. He did. So
he kind of have the ball.
He did. So right. So that's the rule. That's the rule by the NFL, and I get it, and I respect that rule. However, he survived the ground once his elbow hits. He had possession. He never lost possession of the ball. When his elbow hits, and the rule is, tell me if I'm wrong, but once, like when a player catches the ball, forget if a defender's by him. When his elbow hits in bounds, all his elbow has to do is hit, and it's considered 2 feet, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. That's a catch. That is a catch, folks. When his elbow hit, and that player,
forearm, shin, knee,
right. And then if you want to say that's not enough, he rolled on his side while the player, then the defender, jumped on top of him and rolled with him. He still had possession. So for me, the elbow, for me, rolling on your side is a catch, plain and simple. So
I might have a ghost in my house. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, really? Uh-oh. What the hell's going on, guys? No way. You got a ghost? Let's see. Do we have a live ghost appearance?
You'll see it.
Guys, are you hearing this? This is live. Now, guys, if you happen to see a shadow or something in this podcast, let me know. It could be. Now, you're in New York, right? Don't you guys have a lot of critters over there?
Not in my house.
Well, I'm just saying. I know they're there in apartments. They can get in, right? It could be the snow. Maybe the snow's hitting the window. Is it snowing outside?
I'm gonna pretend it's not.
Juan is freaking out, guys. Juan, we have a ghost in Juan's. I was wondering. I thought maybe I thought you had a cat or something. Like, oh, Juan seeing his cat or his little dog or something. All right. Well, guys, pay attention to the background of Juan, please. If you see something weird, well, I know, but maybe they catch it and you don't catch it. So, guys, just help out Juan. I don't want anything bad happening to this guy. I mean, he's a friend of the show, good guy, friend of mine. When his elbow hits, anybody else simultaneously possessing the football. Okay. Once again,
outside. That's not in
it's
here.
outside. Okay. So you're wrong on this, and I know you want to look. And once again, I get it, right? I don't know if you're a Denver fan, whatever fan you are. When his elbow hits, it doesn't make a difference. If they both have possession of the ball, it goes to the offensive player. Regardless, it doesn't make a difference. So when his elbow hit, I could take it frame by frame but I'm not going to stick with the same thing. We'll be here all day. But go back and watch it. Elbow hits, still possession. Body hits, still possession. He never lost possession. Matter of fact, the ball doesn't even move. Then when he rolls on him, when he's halfway on him, they both have the ball. And it's that final rollover is when he officially rips. You could see it. He rips it at the very end. They're kind of jostling for the ball when they turn around. But the play is over. It's already done. You go back to the Adams play, guys. Same thing. Knee hits, goes down. So are you going to call the Adams play a fumble or a catch? And what's the difference? We can go back and watch that play. It's the same thing. He catches it, knee hits, player falls on the ground, player rips the ball. There's no difference.
Breaking news. There's some breaking news. McCarthy is a Steeler.
You know what? I told somebody that the other day because he's from Pittsburgh. He has ties there. That's, you know what? It's a good fit. I'm happy for him. That's actually a good place for him. And I think Pittsburgh fans should be happy. That's a good place for McCarthy. So good for him. We never even interviewed him. So he was never even on in our on our radar. So, but I'm happy for him because I think he's a good coach. And I think that's a good change from Mike Tomlin. And I like Mike Tomlin, but I think they needed a new direction. I think they needed an offensive direction. I think that offense in Pittsburgh was stale for a while. Let's be real.
Since 2017.
Right. They've had quarterback issues for years, right? Now you got a guy that knows about good quarterbacks, knows how to get one, knows where to find one. He can work with the GM and find themselves a quality quarterback in the draft or maybe next year's draft, probably next year's draft, and then retool that offense. Because Pittsburgh's defense is not bad, but they can also move on from TJ Watt, clear some space there, maybe go out and get a receiver. Like, if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm excited for this. That's a great move. That's a great different, for me, it's a different vision. And that vision now is focusing more on the offense, which you need. Because it's never really been a defensive problem in Pittsburgh. It's been the offense. So I like that move, man. If I'm Pittsburgh right now, I'm all for that move, man. I think you guys got a good coach right there, a Super Bowl winning head coach. You didn't move on from a Super Bowl winning head coach to a nobody or a no name or a guy that just has very little experience. You got an experienced guy coming to town. He's from Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? So good for you guys. Thanks for the update, Juan. In every example that you have shown, the referee had whistled the play over, and then the referee. Right. They should have whistled. Doesn't matter. They should then fine. But they should have whistled it. What's the difference? That's our argument, right, Juan? Like, okay, they whistled it. Why did they Why did they whistle it dead? They whistled it dead because he was down once his knee hit. Once the player fell on top of the other player and his knee hit or his elbow hit, the play is done. It's over. There is no jostling for the football. It doesn't matter if he rips it at the very end because the player's down by contact. I see an over running backs, by the way, when we go look at running back fumbles, why do you think they go back and look to see if his knee touches? Because once his knee or his elbow, it doesn't matter. He's down by contact. Once any part of his body, down by contact, right? Down by contact. So I'm sorry. I look, and I'm fair. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm as fair as they could be. If that was a fumble or if that was incomplete or that ball was moving the whole time, right? Let's say he caught it, but it never really, he was kind of moving it around with it. I would say, you know what? He never had possession to begin with. It was kind of like moving around in his chest, when they fell to the ground. Fine. I'd be honest with you guys. That was incomplete or that's an interception because he never fully, but that wasn't the case. Guys, I'm telling you, I went through it frame by frame by frame because I don't want to fight on something that I'm wrong on. And I'm not alone in this. Matter of fact, Marcel Wiley, who he's as honest as you can be. He did a film breakdown, same thing I did. Like going through it step by step by step, slow motion, all the way through. That's a fucking catch. There's NFL players telling you. There's head coaches telling you. It's just not me going, oh, I'm a Bills fan. That's a catch. That's bullshit. It was a catch. So, but if you don't believe it's a catch, I get it, right? I think sometimes everybody sees things differently and that I'm okay with it. But I'm sorry, bro. It's a catch. Like by the NFL rule or law or whatever the fuck they want to call it, And if it's not, then they need to explain it better. How about that? They need to explain it a lot better and change that rule. So, anyways, are you done with that one? Any other takes you want to take away from this Broncos game?
Nah, because who cares? That team ain't the same. So there's nothing for me to talk about the Broncos.
It's unbelievable that Bo Nix got hurt on the last play.
You said that that's
what they're saying.
Remember the design run? That's when
they put him in it, which is
probably why he threw that duck that cost out the game.
Unbelievable.
Because he threw on a broken foot.
Yeah, which is crazy because he was just trying to put it, in place for the kicker or whatever. But man, it is what it is. But anyways, yeah, let's go on your game. I had I had this close game. I thought the Texans defense would do. I thought it was, close. But you know what, dude? I gotta say,
17 was my score. I was very fucking.
You were very close. You were 28-16, dude. Juan, honestly, man, the Texans did what I thought they would on offense.
They did even better.
I mean, on defense. I'm sorry. Yeah,
and I thought they were going to be great. And they were even better.
But what was our
talk shit throughout the week?
Yeah,
they said, you know what, fuck you, when they tried to kill my quarterback.
What was our take, though? Why would Houston lose if they were going to lose this game?
Because of the offense, duh.
Because of their offense, and it was shittier than I expected it to be. To be honest,
worst quarterback performance you've ever seen in the.
Dude, I've never seen so many.
Because we've seen backup play that don't count. I'm talking about real starting who we think is a good quarterback performance. I don't think I've ever seen one worse than that.
They have to go into the offseason and they have to rethink their decision on starting CJ Stroud next year because I don't know if I've ever seen a lazier throws. I'm sorry, not throw. Throws.
Oh,
all of them. All of them. I thought they were extremely, nothing behind them. Way behind, way late. Because they were just kind of like floaters or lazy. Just nothing behind. He had no arm to any of those throws. And there were some guys open. And there were just lazy passes that kind of just took forever to get there. And the Patriots defenders are loving it. I just don't. Stroud is not. He's holding them back. I got to be honest with you.
So let's go back to 20.
I like your defense, though. I'm not gonna knock them. You guys played great. You guys played great.
We'll get back to my team, the actual winners. Let's talk about the losers real quick. So we'll go. So we go back to 2023, right? Where after he finished that nice rookie season, everybody was glazing him like crazy, thinking he's the next chosen one and all that, right? And remember that offseason, that dude was going on like a media tour, going on podcast to show to podcast to show, running his mouth. And I'm sitting there. I'll never forget that. I wish I had more people with me so they could have my back. Because I'm looking at it. I'm like, yo, why is this kid talking like if he just won something? Like he just had a good season and won a rookie of the year. Okay. Why aren't you at the gym? Why aren't you with a quarterback coach? Why aren't you working on your game? I'm like, all right, he's doing a lot of talking. I don't know what he does at nighttime. I don't know what he does in the weekend. You know what? So I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna stop being an old school person. You know how old school people be. But let me shut up. Let me see the next season what he does. The following season, 24, he was lackluster. He wasn't trash per se, but he was lackluster. Everybody wanted to scapegoat. I think it was Kubiak, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't his coordinator Kubiak? I think it was, but I could be wrong. No, it wasn't. He was in the Saints. It was someone else. They scapegoated an offensive coordinator and blamed the offensive line and all that stuff. All right, fine. I didn't buy it because I watched the Houston games. And I'm like, no, I don't think it was. He didn't look good himself. I say, you know what? They got new coordinator. They got some new. So they drafted a lot of offensive linemen last season for 25. Like, right, whatever. Okay, cool. Let me wait. He was dog shit this whole fucking season. This homie went down a whole trajectory from year to year. And now look at the result. You played against a halfway decent defense, because I'm still not fully convinced we're that good, because we played two of the worst offensive lines in the history of the world. So I'm not there yet, but I do like what I see. And he looked like he didn't know what the fuck he was doing on both games, not just mine, the Pittsburgh game too. Didn't know what he was doing the entire time. I'm like, You see what I'm saying about this motherfucker? So if I'm Nick Caserio, who is president of football operations in Houston, if I'm Nick Caserio, I would have done it the day after the game. I'm like, come to my office, boy. Listen, if you don't get your shit together, I'm going to appoint you a quarterback coach. I'm going to appoint you all this film. I'm going to give you everything you need to succeed. I want you here every day until training camp. From now to training camp, you're in here every day. If you do not give me at the very least, a borderline Pro Bowl season, you're getting the fuck out of my team. That's what I would do.
Right.
Because what's happened the last 2 seasons, it's nothing short of pathetic and a fucking embarrassment. Because we traded up everything. We gave up everything to get you and Will Anderson. And Will Anderson, if it wasn't for a certain somebody in Cleveland breaking the fucking sack record, Will Anderson would be the defensive player of the year. So he held up his end of the bargain. Where are you? So I cannot believe he played as bad as he did. And yeah, he lost Nico Collins. Yeah, he lost Dalton Schultz during the game. But it's not an excuse to play the way he played. You can lose your players and not look like that, because Justin Herbert showed you that the week before. Like, he lost his line, and he at least didn't look like that. To look like that is a fucking embarrassment. This is for my benefit. My team is playing tomorrow because of that. And I was so fucking upset for half the game. Just that first, they threw the 4 picks in the 1.5. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? It's nothing short of embarrassing and pathetic. I cannot believe that he showed up. He came into an NFL playoff game and did that. No, bro. No, bro. I cannot.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy to me. Absolutely. I don't know how the Texans can, because look, that defense is going to be only elite for so long until players start to leave or players injury, whatever happens, right? You can't keep them all. That's the unfortunate part of when you have an elite offense, elite defense. Eventually, you have to pay them, and eventually, guys move on, right? And you can only be the Legion of Boom for so long before players start to leave, players injuries, or whatever the case may be. So, for them, they need to fix that offense. They need to get that shit right, because if they had a better offense, who knows, right? Like, maybe they are a Super Bowl caliber team, but with an offense like that, it's kind of like what when we were asked, I think last week or the week before, I forget when it was.
Last week, I think. I know you're talking about.
Who would you rather play, a elite defense and okay offense, or an elite offense and okay? And we both said Houston. We would rather play if it came down to a championship, because I think you can beat a team with a bad offense. I do. Like, I think you could score. You have more of an opportunity, I think, to put points up.
They're not going
to cap on the score.
Yeah,
exactly. So, and it kind of showed in this game. Drake May didn't have his greatest performance, but at the end of the day, when he needed to step up, he made his throws. He made the important ones happen.
When you talked about your game, us was the opposite. Because our quarterbacks did basically the same thing. They fucked up, but then they made the plays they're supposed to. We got the benefit of it at one, and you guys didn't. It was the parallel, even though we did the same thing.
Correct.
So sorry.
Correct. No, you're good. And man, like, I hate to keep bringing this up, but like, homeboy in the chat here.
Oh, he's killing it. Yeah, he's ODing.
On the catch thing, and I'm going to leave it at this one more time, because once again, I know you maybe did your homework too, brother, but not only did I look at stills like this, but I went through the play over and over and over, and I'll show it one more time, and then I don't care what your opinion is after. I mean, I care, I respect it, but I'm going to have to agree to disagree with you if you continue to just, fight me on this. I'm not changing my mind on this. So, right here, possession is for the offense, regardless. They both have their ball. They both have their hand on the ball. Matter of fact, Brandon Cooks has more of a possession at this point than the defender. The defender here is still trying to get his hands wrapped around the ball at this point. Go watch the replay, actually, on that. The next, right here. Now, he is still trying to get the ball from Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks still has possession of the ball. His side of his body is pretty much on the ground at this point. His whole leg. Here is a great example. He has possession of the ball. His whole body's on the ground. His whole body has now went from what? His elbow to his knee to his side of his body. Still possession. Now, here is where the defender has grip on the ball. And he's fighting for, so Cooks has it and he has it. Even here, they both have the ball. 50-50. Now it's back. So not only did his elbow hit initially, he then rolled on his side, rolled over to his back, and still has possession. They both have possession of the ball. That's it. The play is over. He survived the ground because he has possession. He did not lose it here. He lost it on when this guy, I don't know his name, excuse me if I don't know his name, once he rolled over, right, Juan? Once this guy totally flipped is where
McMillan. That's his name.
Yeah.
It says it right there.
Okay. Once McMillan dislodged the ball at the very end of the flip is where he got possession. But it's already done here. Matter of fact, it was done here. It was done technically here. It was done really here.
That was really.
I mean, like you know what I mean? Like if you're being I'm just being honest, guys. Like if you want to say, okay, he still has to have, right, Juan, he still needs to survive the ground. If you want to fight that, okay, fine, right? But what about here? Now his whole left leg is hitting the ground. He still has possession. Okay, what about there? He still has possession. That is it. He survived the ground. So, guys, there's no more debating this. I'm not going to debate it anymore. People are going to believe what they want to believe. He had possession. By the NFL rule, once a player is 50-50 and the ball is being held by both DB or whoever, defender and on the offense, the winner goes to the offense. It has been that way forever. Now, if they want to say and change the rules, guys, and go, the guy needs to hold the ball for so many seconds on the ground, I guess, but now you're getting into a technicality. Like, how long, I guess, Juan, should he have held the ball? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when's long enough? I guess, is that the question we're going to ask here? So nobody could dispute, right, Juan, that he had possession initially. No one could dispute that he had possession when he hit the ground initially. When his elbow hit, he clearly does. Go watch a replay, ball never moves. Nobody can dispute when he's sideways, he still has ball. Nobody, go watch a replay, it never moves. I want to know then, by letter of the law, then how long then, how many is it seconds now are we talking that a player has to hold the complete grip while on the ground? Right? You know what I mean? Because then if you're going to go that, then man, dude, there could be fumbles all over the league.
Oh, yeah.
All over the league. So
you're not doing nothing to this.
Yeah, we're going to have to agree to disagree on this, but I'll tell you what, when it happens to your team, I don't know what fan you are, and if you're a Bills fan, it is what it is. What is other? But I would be fighting this if it was against my team. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I'm as honest as they come, bro. This has nothing to do with me being a Bills fan. It happened to my team. If this was a Broncos player, I would say, you know what? We got lucky. That was a fucking catch. Dude, guys, I'm as honest as they could be. I'm telling you right away. I've seen plays that, like we got a first down, James Cook. I forget what game it was, and it was not a first down. And I'm like, damn, they gave it to us. Okay, great. Like, hey, I'm happy for the bullshit they missed. Of course, right? Like, we all are. Like we're lying if we, that, Juan. We're like, hey, we got away with one. We fucking held. Woo! Like, dude, I'll even be honest with you guys. The Trey White play, I could see why maybe he got there a tad early, like by the law, even though it was ticky-tacky.
That's why I hate the blood.
Right. But by law, okay. Like, I'm not going to even fight that. Like, if you want to be a stickler, if you really, okay, you know what? But, dude, guys, I just call it how it is. And if you disagree, you disagree. But I'm telling you, you watch me, you watch this channel long enough, I'm very honest when it comes to plays like that. And I'm telling you the God honest truth. If that was the other way around, I would tell you right now, I'd be here going, boo, referees really fucked that up. Like, that was a fucking catch. Like, but that's me. But once again, I think people will see it how they want to see it, and I respect that, dude. I'm not going to knock your opinion, but it is what it is. We're going to have to agree to disagree, okay? Or just take our defense all together and stop pretending. God, listen, your defense gave up 30 points. Are you a Denver fan? Don't act like your defense was solid here. You gave up 30 points, right? Like, I'm not saying, like, you guys aren't a good defense, and I'm not knocking. I don't know if you're a Bronco fan. Is he a Broncos fan? Delusional Patriot. Oh, he's a Patriots fan.
I'm assuming that you're making fun of me and my team and my fan base saying you were a delusional Patriots fan.
Oh, I see, because of the name. That's funny. Yeah. So he's a Broncos fan. He's probably Broncos. And I think he's been here before. I'm not knocking you, by the way, bro. You're going to agree to disagree with everything. I'm not knocking your team. It was a good win. It was a team loss. I'm not saying the refs were the main culprit. I said sprinkle them on. Once again, if you heard me, if you've been watching, I said we got away with a holding call in the end zone, which should have ended probably the game. It would have ended the game. So I see things how they are. I'm not saying the referees were the main culprit. Oh my God, we got hosed the whole game. The fucking refs were all, it was all Broncos. You know what I mean? I didn't say that. I'm just calling out some big time plays. And I even said one of ours that we did against you guys, which was holding in the end zone. So I'm just saying, and if you don't agree, you don't agree. But the referees, he's not a Denver fan? Okay. The referees need to do a better job. I don't know what fan you are. I'm sorry. So I didn't mean to call you a Broncos fan.
Suspiciously, like,
yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. What fan are you of? I'm just curious.
Are you with me? But I don't know. I don't think you're making fun of my franchise.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you're with me, or you're a Bill, if you're a Chief, if you're Manchester United.
Like, I have no idea. It's a weird. Yeah. It's a.
Oh, you with me? Okay.
Oh, he is a Patriots fan. Okay.
I thought you just making fun of us for your name.
He says, Spin says, Tommy is right when I agree with him. Right, Spin. Spin very rarely agrees with me. So, look, man, at the end of the day, okay, and I think we can agree with this, and you may not agree with that particular play, but I think we can all agree on this, Juan. The referees need to do better, and if they can't, the NFL needs to do what the UFL's doing, and at least you have all this money. You have all these cameras. We just want it right. That's all we want, and we want an explanation. We don't need the ref under a hood. We don't need the ref in some guy just telling the ref something that we don't know what's going on. We have no idea why the play was overturned. We got that too, and I don't like that either. By further review, that is not a first down. Like, that is not a... Like, okay, why isn't it a catch? Like, at least,
baby.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. Like, the NFL needs to be more transparent. They need to be more. They need to use what technology is all about. Use that technology. Let it be known, because you know what? We're all sitting here, and at least I could be like, you know what? Maybe I don't agree with it, but at least they fucking did it frame by frame. They showed us why they feel. Fine. But the fact that they rush through things, the fact that they got a guy in their ear and they're not telling us why this call was over, like, it's weird. It goes back, Juan, to that Houston Bills playoff game in 2019. When we're up, we kick the ball. I think it was right to begin the second half. And the returner catches the ball, and he just throws the ball, or he throws the ball behind him. And the referee's like, whoa, what are you doing? And we scoop it up, touchdown.
Oh,
and I forgot about that. Guy comes running on the field. We've never seen this guy ever. Remember that? Like, at that time, these guys weren't even around. Remember that? Like nobody saw. This guy comes on the field with some black shirt. Remember that? They all group up. No touchdown. What?
We were like, I remember we were at a bar because
Dude.
I remember that because y'all lost. We're about to lose that night. To that was the last Brady game. I remember we're in a bar. We're like, how the fuck that's not a touchdown? I remember that.
How?
Me and Trevor were all together. I remember that.
Dude, I still will say that's a touchdown. I don't care because if you want to be technical, and you know how they are, the rent of this is this, and you got by every game I've ever witnessed, returning the ball, kick returns, you either do this, meaning doesn't matter if the ball hits, the play is dead once it hits the end zone, or you catch it, you kneel it. It's done. I've never in my life seen a guy catch the ball and toss it away. That to me, because you have no idea what's going on in his head. That right there in the ref by dodging it did his job because that's not.
He never said he was down. He never cleared it down. Yeah.
Right, so how is he giving himself up? I mean, maybe in his head he was, but that's not how you're supposed to do it. A player's supposed to either wave it off, kneel it down, and then hand the ball to the ref. And I swear we got hosed on that. That was I still don't get it. I will never get that call. And once again, a ref coming on the field you've never seen in your life. This guy just magically appear. It was like, oh no, I'm the guy that's really in charge. You guys, I'm going to overpower every single one of you guys right now. That's what he did. You know that because they called it a touch. There was no, bro, that was a touch. It's not like they were discussing it. We were going on to the next series. That guy come on the field and be like, come on, come talk to me. What? Who the fuck are you? How are you? So that there, I don't like either, right? Like, I think everybody was like, who the fuck is this guy? Right? Like, that's some shady shit, right? That's some shit. That would be like that's some WWE shit. Like a different ref comes in, right? It's like, that wasn't a 3 count. It was too fast. Let's redo the match. Redo the match.
End the game. End that. Like, restart the match. Right. Fuck out of here.
Restart it. Yeah. No, we can't have that happen. Oh no. Oh my God. So, anyways, I'm just saying. Look, man. You know, if the UFL can get it right, the shitty ass XFL UFL can do it right. Get it right. And I almost feel like the NFL, Juan, they don't want to get it right on purpose because there's a lot of betting going. And I'm not saying the game's rigged. I'm not saying that, but they don't want you in their scene of stuff that's really happening.
Bad publicity is great publicity.
Right. So,
it's a business, baby. Keep us talking.
You know, it's wild. So, anyways, any more comments on your game?
Yeah, we try to.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good. No, it's about you guys because we're playing tomorrow, playing a team with a backup quarterback.
It's unbelievable, you guys. I don't. Yeah.
So
you want to get on that game? You want to get on the game? It's not okay. So, Juan, you're welcome. By the way, we helped you out a little bit with the bone. We broke his ankle for you. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. I think you guys still win the game with Bo Nix in there. I'm not crazy about Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is a good quarterback. I'm not going to knock him or kill him, but I'm not overly impressed by Bo Nix. I think he's good, but I think he just kind of stays the line of good. I don't think he's a quarterback that's going to get any better, right? I don't know if he's getting worse, but I think he's just kind of towing that line of when we talk about Herbert, we're just kind of staying good. And I think that's what he is. I don't see it. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a Denver fan. I don't follow him like crazy, but I saw him this game and I wasn't overly impressed. Like, we should have beaten that team, to be honest with you. It was a good game, but they had better. Let's be real. Like, come on, man. Like, once again, the Bills, when we talk about our team, we weren't the best Super Bowl or best playoff roster. Like the Jaguars had a better roster. The Broncos had a better coach in Denver. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have Josh Allen. He's definitely by far the biggest X factor. But overall talent, they had better receiver. They had better defense. Like, they should have won the game. But, because we have who we have, you know what I mean? Like, it was 33-30, and it took them overtime to beat us. So, with you guys, I feel like you're just too well-rounded. I think you guys have an excellent coaching staff. Now, mind you, Peyton is a really good coach. Like, I like him a lot. I do. But this would take a fucking miracle, Juan, for him to pull this one off with Stidham. I don't see it happening. I just don't. We put up 30 on their defense. Their defense is good, but I don't think it's electric. I don't think it's that good. Like, I wasn't overly impressed.
Let's break it down. So,
yeah, go ahead.
This is a defense who disguises pretty well. So they do similar things the Chargers defense do. The thing is that their personnel is completely different. They have a really good. They have the best corner in the league. They have Patrick Surtain. They have the best corner in the league. They have decent safeties. They got Hufanga, who's a hitter, who's a box safety who hits. Even though I feel like you guys dusted him, but whatever. He's a good box safety. Their second corner is not very good. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he leads the leagues in pass interference penalties. So he's somebody to attack. Their linebackers are decent. Their line is skinny. They don't have a big like that. That's why you guys, to me, from what I saw, you guys manhandled that defensive line for like 55
we did
50 minutes.
Absolutely.
They were small defensive line. They
small. You can run through them.
Yep, they go on speed. So, and mind you, they're a decent run defense though. Like, it's not like they get run over in terms of the run.
But you can run on them. And you're more physical. Okay. You guys are more. By the way, you have. Well, I want to say that you have more physical backs than we do. How about that? Like, our offensive line is about as good as yours, if not maybe better. Like, we're good off. But what we don't do well, what you do well, is run between the tackles because you have bigger bruiser backs. Like, Stevenson's built that way. Cook isn't built that way. No. And you have a 1-2 punch. I like Ray Davis, but he's not a 1-2 punch. Like, he's good, but he's not a big bruising back like a Stevenson. And then you have your other back who's a speedster and is a little bit of a bruiser. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys can go in and out.
Who are willing to block and do the dirty
and work. You have bigger tight ends as well. Yep.
I didn't see. I'm not sure if Mac Hollins is playing. Something tells me no, but I want to see really quick. Really quick. This is great podcasting. Sorry, guys.
Denver susceptible to the run and the screen and tight end. Yeah, so we ran our screens. They knew that was coming. By the way, stupid fucking Joe Brady's goddamn screens over and over. That's another thing in my game I forgot to mention. Our garbage-ass coordinator with his run the ball on first down every fucking
time.
Play.
Every time. I said it.
And you would think our head coach, by the way, would get in his ear because, by the way, you guys are aware that head coaches do communicate with the coordinators, right? And they tell them, hey, I need you to slow this down. Hey, I need you to run the ball here. Hey, let's speed it up. Like, they also chime in, right?
Vrabel did that.
So why didn't so was McDermott telling him, run the ball first, run the ball. Let's run the ball here. Like, bro, we were basically giving them a free down. Like, here, man, take this down. Just take a free, like, we were getting nothing on first down. I don't get it.
Last week, and that pissed me off. We were always in
second
for long because of that shit.
Predictable. I fucking hate it, man. I fucking hate it. And I told you guys, too, the only way you would beat Houston, not he beat them, only way, but the best way to beat that team is to be unpredictable, to do things, speed things up a little bit, go up tempo a little bit, take more deeper shots downfield, mix it up.
That won the game.
And you did. And that's when your offense actually went downfield and got some points. Like, you have to take chances. You can't just play it safe against a team like that. You can't.
Absolutely not. So Mac Hollins is questionable, but he's been practicing. So assuming that he does play, that's another receiver that gets dirty on the blocks. So running the football to me is key.
Mac is playing or not playing?
He's questionable. I'm not entirely sure.
Wow, I'm
been
surprised
practicing.
he's even okay. Good for
He's
him.
been practicing the last two days. So
I like him, man. He's a team guy.
He doesn't play tomorrow. He's 100% playing in the Super Bowl. So if we get there,
True.
So,
I can't, dude. If you guys don't,
I gotta.
oh my
I'm
God,
humble all season. I like being humble. I
Dude.
have a very sincere story to tell. When we close
you
the
better
show. I
get
will.
it. If you don't beat Denver, bro, like honestly, like that would just, if I'm a Patriots fan, you lose. I'm just saying, I get it was a good season,
Kills the season.
but
Yeah,
that
it
would
kinda kills
low
the
key, no, that would
Yeah.
dude, come on, that would absolutely destroy everything you've done, and it sucks because you had a good year, and it sucks to be that way, but this is a free pass almost
This should
to
be a
the
gimme.
Super Bowl. It should be a gimme. I don't care if it's in Denver, but go ahead.
All we really have to do, run the football well, play action should be effective, and Nick Benito versus Will Campbell, because Will Campbell has had a really bad 2 games. But when you go up against Khalil Mack, a future, I don't know if you call him, I wouldn't call him a Hall of Famer personally, because my standards are extremely high, but he's in that level. So in his career. So you got a borderline Hall of Famer in Khalil Mack. Then you got what would have been the defensive player of the year once from Myles Garrett existing. We got to go against him. Those are 2 of the worst matchups you could arguably have in the entire NFL, not named Myles Garrett. So he went through a gauntlet of insane defensive ends that he can't really block. Plus, he's a smaller frame tackle, so power gets him. Speed, however, he can block. So I anticipate Will Campbell playing better in this game than he has the last 2 playoff games. So if he blocks well, Drake has time. We're easily dropping 28, 30 points, and it should be no problem, in my opinion.
I think so too. And by the way, Denver doesn't have a running game either, so
They can't run the football.
they have their hand, like boy, oh boy. That's what I'm saying. Like their head coach, look, he's a good head coach and everything, Sean Payton, but boy, he better come up with the fucking most unbelievable game script, whatever, play designs. Like
I'm gonna let go of my humbleness right now. To be honest with you, if he does that, it's just gonna make the game interesting. I don't see it.
I get it. I just don't. I would be shocked. I think that would be one of the biggest upsets. Because look, man, for me, if I'm the Patriots and Vrabel, I am sending pressure. I am sending heat. I am being so aggressive towards Stidham. I am leaving it all in Stidham's hands to beat us, and that's not going to happen.
And now let's talk about the other side of the ball. Now that you said that perfectly, so their line is insanely good. They're around as good as yours. So they have a really good offensive line. Their starting center, who's got hurt at the end of the season, I believe he might be coming back tomorrow. So they should have their full 5 ready for that game.
That's a big return.
That's going to test the
give him some time.
The defensive line has been going crazy with the blitzes and all the stuff going on with this defensive line. Now we're going to have a real test. That's what I care about. I want to see how good they actually are. They weren't that great against us. I mean, Mims had 93 and Sutton had 53. Harvey 46. They weren't like lighting it up. Now, mind you, we have good DBs, but I think Christian Gonzalez is better than Benford. You know what I mean? I like Benford, but let's be real. And I'm getting to that. So their receivers now, they only have Sutton. I think their second string is out. I think Franklin is out, if I'm not mistaken. So they got Mims.
He may be for the concussion.
And
Mims is okay. I mean, he showed up, but he's hit or miss.
Like they don't have receivers, so this is
don't.
For my secondary. They should be locking everybody up in this game. So he's gonna have to hold on to that football in this game. So Milton Williams, Christian Barmore, have fun. It will surprise me if they find a way offensively at least to score 20 points. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
28-17. That's my final score. I think they're gonna play tough. I think that crowd is going to get to us a little bit at the beginning of the
crowd
game.
is loud, dude. I'll give them that. They were like, we had a tough time with,
a beautiful opening script, and it's going to catch us off guard. I think I would not be surprised if they're winning the first half like 14-10. Or
no way.
I can see it.
I don't see that. I'll tell you what. I see.
Second half, done. We'll get them after that.
I
That's
see
what
you
think's
guys
gonna happen.
pulling away in the second half for sure. I think it's more like I think you guys either have a slight lead at the half or tied. Like I could see something like 10-10 going into the half, maybe 13-10 Patriots, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Denver's not letting outside fans buy tickets and shit either. I forgot they're being slick.
Yeah, bro, they were. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like Allen had a tough time here. Like I'll give them credit. That was one of the louder places I've heard our team go. But against
my second year, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts off with a pick or something stupid to start the game, and then dumb stuff happens, and it keeps them close for a while. But I know once you take, it's fine.
I think you guys take the crowd out of it at some point in the second half. Once things are, I just don't see Denver's offense doing enough, and that's the problem, right? It's kind of be like Houston game, where it's close in the beginning a little bit. But the defense eventually breaks down because it's on the field too long. The offense isn't giving them anything at that point, more than likely. And that's what happens. Even the best defenses like Houston Texans crack. Like it's just the way it works. So I feel like this game's going to be very similar. And they're not the Houston defense, meaning I don't see them, creating that kind of havoc either. So, we put up 30, bro. Like, and we have 5 turnovers, like 5, right? Like we didn't play our best football and we still put up 30. So you count that in. Imagine we don't turn the ball over, or even we only have 3 or 2. Like we could have scored 40 points. I'm being real. So, look, I have it here. I'll go 27-16 Patriots.
You're
27-16.
1 point away from my score. Like it's the same score.
Yeah, 27-16. I think it's close at half. I think you guys maybe have a 3-point edge, something like that, 13-10. The worst case scenario for you guys, 10-10. I really don't see it. I don't see them having a lead. I just don't. And yeah, I think the second half, you just kind of slowly start to pull away. And I just think off the offense of Denver, they just won't be able to get it going, man. So
also, what's funny, we drafted the quarterback they're going to play. Josh McDaniels coached him for a few years.
Oh, Stidham.
So he already knows all of Stidham's exactly what Stidham likes to do. So we already have that insider advantage.
Oh man, so yeah, Denver's. But you know what? Let's say for shits and giggles, Bo Nix was playing. Let's say Bo Nix never got hurt. He's playing. I would still have picked the Patriots, and I would have picked them 27-21. No, 27-21, 27-23, somewhere around there. But I would have had the Patriots edging them out still, because I still don't think Bo Nix is this world beater. He didn't have that great of a game versus us. He had a good final drive. Shame on our fucking defense. He threw some bullshit fucking lobs in the air, like moon balls that weren't going anywhere, just to cause pass interference. Like really sneaky bullshit throws. Like that's all that was. That had nothing to do with getting a receiver. That was just tossing it way high in the air. But whatever, it worked. And kudos to Sean Payton for understanding that probably was going to work. And Sean McDermott, once again, didn't capitalize or didn't get help for guys that he should have gotten help for, like a Dane Jackson, like a Savage. When these guys that Dane Jackson can't play man versus man. Like that's not what he does. He's not a man coverage. Savage got cut for a reason. We picked him up for a reason, right? These guys are limited. Why aren't you helping these guys out? So, anyways, that game is. Thank God we got a new head coach. I'm just so over it. But yeah, anyways, I got you guys winning, man. I got you guys going to Super Bowl, and I'm gonna go on the other game. Seattle, and we might as well quick do our score prediction. Seattle and Rams. This one's tough, man. I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. I did earlier, I'm still going to go with that because I still, for whatever reason, I can't. I just still don't trust Sam Darnold, even though he had a good game or whatever against 49. But the 49ers were so beat up. They had so many guys out. I'm not going to really. But I'll say this. Seattle's at home. They got a very good defense. They got great corners, which is really good because you're going against a very good offense, so you're going to have the best on the best. But I still have the Rams slightly edging out Seattle.
The Rams dropped
because I trust
both times they played.
I
regular season too.
I
So
trust Stafford. I trust Stafford over Darnold, and it's in a better environment, right? They're not going to be playing in Chicago weather, right? Rams defense needs to get their shit together, though. I will say that they played a little bit better against Chicago, but this past month, last half of the football has been shaky for them. So they need to figure that shit out. But I have it close. I do. I still think Seattle is going to put up a really good fight here. I'm going to go Rams 31-28 field goal to win the game.
I want that to happen so bad because I want no parts of Seattle in the Super Bowl. I know what we said last week. Great
they're
defense,
they're dangerous.
bad, not that good. No, this is the exception.
No, they're well rounded.
This
they are.
Defense is insane. No,
they got a good running back, a bruiser. They got a really good receiver.
We score on that defense. We have to play them. I can't think of a scenario. That defense is too insane.
No, they're legit. They're up there with Houston for sure, and they got better corners. They got like 3 of them. Right? Like what the fuck?
That's what scares me.
Yeah.
I want to pick the Rams, and I'm rooting for them. I'm a Rams fan tomorrow.
I got you.
The Rams so bad. I'm going with the hot hand in Seattle. I'm going to pick Seattle to win this game 24-21 in a close game.
Low scoring, really?
Yeah, lower scoring.
Wow. Okay. All right. We'll see.
It's tough. I'm praying you're right. Trust me. You're right. We play the Rams. I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I think you guys are – you punch your ticket. I don't see –
So
I don't see how you don't, man. I really don't.
Here's my thank you, because I'm pretty sure that had a reason why you have no coach right now.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. So I think that played another part. You're right. I didn't even bring that up. That's a great point. I think not only your coach, I think Ben Johnson. I think a lot of first-year head coaches.
You lost your pick of the litter last year. You should have.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you looked around the league at some of the younger coaches too. As well, and just said, hey man, maybe changing. Also, I think he also looked around and saw guys that were on their teams forever that got fired. Harbaugh, Tomlin. Like I think all that also factored in when he was like, damn, those motherfuckers were on their teams for years, like even longer, and they have hardware, and they still got canned. So this guy doesn't have hardware. He's already getting passed up by a new coach. Not that Vrabel's new, but new for the team. Already got passed up 1 year into coaching New England. Already got passed up. That team with Stephon Diggs, who we had on the roster, is going to probably get a Super Bowl at least appearance over Josh Allen, right? Who hasn't even been. Sam Darnold, who's in the same draft, it's probably or has an opportunity to go to a Super Bowl in May. So he's looking around, and he's also looking at Sean McVay going, this guy has a Super Bowl. Young, innovative coach. Wasn't even a host.
Kyle Shanahan went to 2 of these motherfuckers.
Right? Like, we can't get the one. We can't get the one with an MVP quarterback. So I think and you're right, Juan. I think that's what I think he looked around and said, man, this time frame. And you know what he did there, too, in that press conference? That when he went 5-3, whatever, he was bringing up the seeds that we went into each year. He did that on purpose because he wanted to show you, one, don't bullshit me. The teams are good enough. Look at the spots we were in every year when we went into the playoffs. That's one. Two, all those years that we had opportunity, we didn't even get to one. Now that opportunity is starting to close because we got teams like New England now already winning the division. So we had a great opportunity when the Patriots, the Jets, the Dolphins were all regrouping. The Colts, all these teams were kind of in phases where all you really had to worry about was Kansas City. We had every opportunity. And the reality is we took care of let's face it, New England the first year we went, in 2020, we beat the Dolphins when they snuck in. We beat the Ravens twice. Like, we took care of business. We did lose to Cincinnati that one year, but I'll kind of prove that Cincinnati hasn't even been back in years. So I'm going to kind of put, it's really been the Chiefs, right?
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't get it done. And then I think he also looked at the fact that he goes, okay, the Chiefs didn't even make it this year. Now what? It's your excuse. Like, now I didn't even get past the Broncos. Oh, boy. No, and there's no knock on the Broncos, but come on, man. Like, what's your excuse now? Right? Like, we can't keep piling it up. And, yeah, Juan, you're right. Everything's kind of factored in. The coaches that are already taking their teams to AFC Championships, NFC Championship games. It just was enough, man. So, guys, this was a fun show. 2 hours and 10 minutes. You guys are awesome.
People like left at this point because we're way past the time. We usually
dude.
We started late.
We appreciate you guys. It was another great year. This is the last show of the season. We will be back next season. We usually return a couple weeks before the regular season because we like to dive into the off season. We like to give our predictions about the upcoming season. So we will be back 2 weeks before start of the season, hopefully with the same crew. I don't know yet about Curtis, guys. I'll have to talk to him. Captain D is also a guy that comes on, on and off throughout the season. So may see a new Dolphin person. Anthony will be back. Anthony's a trooper. Love that dude. Juan obviously will be back. And obviously we'll see what we're talking about at that time. If we're talking about a Patriots Super Bowl win or loss.
If we win it, you'll see it right here.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. But man, we'll miss you guys, man. You guys make the show possible, and we love you guys. So Juan, any last words before we get out of here?
I want to say one small thing, a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
To this iteration of my football team, because let's face it, I'm going to be Captain Obvious here. My fan base is spoiled as fuck. We know that. We're fucking brats. We get it. I get it, at least.
Yeah, you are.
But,
fuckers.
Yeah. But after a while, few years in, because I'm a youngin' Patriots fan. I wasn't there in 2001. I was still watching cartoons and shit. I was like 8, 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't part of the.
So you lucky bastard! You got in right in time.
Yeah, so I got in.
Fucker.
Yeah, I got basically everything else. So I unfortunately was like drilled into taking everything for granted. I didn't give a fuck about anything.
You didn't know the heartache. You didn't know
you
didn't get to experience that, right?
So
right.
By
for the most part.
13, 14, I was like, I don't give a fuck about nothing to the Super Bowl. Like, it was really that way. Once 14 hit, because we didn't win for like 10 years. But when 14, we finally won it, that's my favorite iteration of the Patriots team. Once that hit, I took everything for granted. I was just waiting for the AFC Championship game every year. And that's literally what we were every year. So, like, I didn't care. And then we finally started to suck. It finally happened. Now, everybody's glory days of holiness finally happened when the New England Patriots started winning 4 games a season. Everything finally happened. But this iteration of my team is probably my second favorite team, no matter what happens, whether we win or not.
Wow.
I don't
Okay.
care, because they kind of brought like the love of a fan back to me.
I get it. I can respect that. I like that. I can respect that.
Beating up on Titans, Browns, and Saints, and I watched it with fucking joy. I was so happy to see my team play well. I see the people growing. I see Drake May and Payshawn Booty and all these guys growing. I see
Booty.
I see it. Yeah, hey, that's Derek Stingley's daddy.
Such
boy.
a name.
I see the growth. I see it all. So I got the love back. I got the humble.
Yeah.
I got humbled in the last 2 seasons. I got the love back. I'm just so happy to see them. So like my goal is to not be that way again. An asshole.
And you won't be
that way. I get it now.
Booty.
I love it. I'm happy. And I just love this fucking team, bro.
I get where you're coming from, and I'll say this before we leave. And I know where you're coming from, because now see, obviously I'm older than you. So, when I was watching my Bills, I started in '89. We lost the AFC Championship game. It was now, mind you, I was just watching football. I was young, so I didn't really. It didn't hurt as bad, the playoff. Like, you know what I mean? I was kind of just in and out of watching. I didn't know the rules yet. I was young, super young. And then in '90, I really started paying attention. Like, I was really getting football cards. Like, I don't know if you ever gotten cards, but like back in the day, like, dude, I used to get packs and you get your favorite player, like, and you want all Bills, you want Kelly, you want Bruce Smith. Right. So, you know how it is. So, like, especially as a kid, right? Like, you kind of learn a lot from sports cards in general. Like, you just do, at least when I was growing up as a child, so, and the football was just in there. You're out there playing football. You're understanding it more. You understand the rules, and you're learning the kickers and the punters and every player and this guy. That's what he. So it's great. Like, I got to experience that and learn the overall game, and I was spoiled like you. When we went to 4 straight Super Bowls, and yeah, they were heartbreaking. Each one was worse than the other. But it was, dude, we were awesome. We were an awesome team. Like, nobody was better than the Bills in the AFC in the early 90s. People hated us. Like, you talk about the Patriots and the hate that they got because nobody could beat them in the AFC, right? And you know why I never hated the Patriots? Because I grew up in the early 90s when people were hating my team. And I'm like, why, if you just beat us then? It's not my fault. My fucking team is better. Like, then figure a way to beat us so you can prevent us going back to another Super Bowl. I know you don't like it, but do something about it. You think we're just going to lay down and like walk away? Like,
I'm like,
right.
They fucking beat them, then I don't know what to tell you.
Right. So I never hated Brady. I never, like, I know fans, the Bills might like, oh, but guys, like, I respect it. So anyways, then we got bad, right? We were bad. We started getting bad. Like, late 90s, things weren't going right? Kelly retired, guys were retired, moving on, saying like Brady.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Shit. Internet, no. Oh, crap. Well, I guess I got to carry the show. I don't know if it's on my side or not. Give it a couple minutes.
What happened?
Go. I don't know.
That was really weird. Anyway, so where was I at? I was at okay. So we went through our years. Yeah, we went through our time where we were bad. And dude, the one thing about me, Juan, and I'm sure about you, like, dedicated fans for any team. I ride with them. I am on that. I am do or die.
That's Mac Jones jersey deep in the fucking
it doesn't. Yeah, I will. I have so many jerseys from the past players. Right, like I there was always a player I fell in love with in the drought years. Right, there was always guys I still go, that was my dude. That was guy. I like that guy. I got, like, even though the team sucked, there's all, you know what I mean? Like, you grow to love the team no matter.
I think I have Jude on too in this.
Right. So
yeah, I found somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, I went through that road, but what was great about it is when you finally get over it, right? And I think my first experience wasn't the Bills, it was the Pistons. So I became a fan of the Detroit Pistons just after the back-to-back. So they won 89-90. I started watching in 91. I mean, literally right after. So I can't really, of course I could go, yeah, back to, but I didn't get to experience it, right? Like, I could boast about it, I guess, right? Like, hey, Piston. But the reality is I didn't get to live it. I didn't experience it, right? The joy
when Jordan came up.
So now I'm watching the Pistons be good, but get booted, right? Be good. And then I'm watching the Pistons get old. Isaiah retire, Bill retire, Rodman left for Chicago. Now I'm watching, right? Owners getting old, right? Like, everything's getting old. Our coach leaves, right? Like, now we're getting busted draft pick, going through the droughts again, right? Like same with the. But dude, then 2001 happened, right? When we're starting to build this team, right? And then 2002, 3, And then Joe does the ultimate in 2004, hires Larry Brown, right? Gets Rasheed Wallace, and we win a championship. And that was the best feeling as a fan, dude. So I get where you're coming from, because like, you rode that wave. You stuck with that team for so long, and you got all that pain, all that people laughing at you, you know, like, your team blows, will never get better, they suck, they'll never get it right, you'll never, you know, and then to turn around and go to back-to-back championships. Now, we lost the second, but we still won the one in 2004. I still say it will never be a team like that ever again. That 2004 Pistons team, where it was a bunch of nobody, it was all defense pretty much. There will never be a player like Ben Wallace ever, in my opinion, as far as a guy that's a Hall of Fame, 6'9", playing center like nobody's business. And just, dude, that was but my point is, I get where you're coming from. Like, and I tell fans all the time, I know you're upset sometimes with results, but man, it's going to feel so good the day it finally happens. Like, all that's just, it's going to be worth it, right? Like, when you finally get back, or you finally win. And, you know, like I said, with the Pistons, it was unbelievable. Unfortunately for my Tigers, we won in 84. I wasn't around watching 84. So we've been back, but we haven't won. I'm hoping that happens again, and I'll be there. I'll be there right with them. You know, every sports, dude. Roy Jones was my favorite boxer ever. I got to watch him go to weight class and win I saw him win the heavyweight title. I got his autograph in person. It was amazing. Like, dude, it was like, so it's, my point is, it's you go with these guys, these athletes, these teams, and it's when you get to the mountaintop, it's fucking awesome, dude. So, guys, like, you know, one thing I tell you, anyone that's watching, if you're a Jets fan here, you're Dolphins, I know times are tough. It sucks. I get it. But eventually you'll, you know, hopefully for you guys, you get it right one day, and maybe you win one day. Because I know Captain D got fucking 72 Dolphins. Like, I know you could talk about it. You didn't watch it. It doesn't, it's not as meaningful as going through it. You know what I mean? So you, Juan, you got to witness it. You got to go through it. It's awesome, right? I got to do it in 2004 with my Pistons. There's nothing like it.
Yeah,
and then you lose it.
And now you're coming back up. Yeah.
And now look at the Pistons again, by the way. Second best team in the NBA, right? Mm-hmm. So it's great because, once again, you know, you got to wait. You got to be patient. You got to wait for the right owner, right coach, right GM to kind of just make it work, right? And I think the Patriots fell a little bit with the owner, with the GM and coach for a little bit there. You know, Belichick was getting old. You know, it's a tough decision your owner had to make to get rid of him. It was the right decision ultimately. And then you got yourself a boom, just like that, right? And look, you know what I mean? So patience is a virtue. Stick with your team. I know it's tough sometimes. And that's why I tell the Bills fans, stop thinking it's going to be the drought years with this changeover. It's not. The main important thing is you got a quarterback, and that's what happened in New England. New England, they got their guy, right? So when Vrabel came in, it wasn't like he's building this foundation with nothing to
my boy
surround himself.
My boy.
So, yeah, dude. Yeah, May. I give him a lot. Dude, I saw it the first year. I said, there's something there, right? And that's all you want to see. And then you got to get the right coaching staff to coach him up and build around him. And really that's what we did with Josh. And that's why I want Brian Dable here. And that's another reason I didn't bring up. Brian Dable is a huge reason why Josh Allen has success right now. You know what I mean?
Hope you don't. If I don't have to deal with that smoke, I'm okay with that. I hope you don't.
Yeah. Because you're going to see this offense at a different level. And I'm tired of this defensive mind. Right. So anyways, I know we went on for a little bit more than we're supposed to, but it's the last show, so why not? You guys enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday football. Juan, good luck to you. And
thank you very much.
We're out of here, guys. Yeah. Go Bills. Peace out. Peace out. See you in August.
Bye-bye. See, Peter, he's too fast. You gotta tackle me. It's B. You gotta press B. I'm pressing B. He's too fast. Going over here? Going over here now? Never get tired.